did that today. One of my rolls for my stats was a 5. And I had to keep it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Like, if...
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I started the stream.
Oh, God, I forgot that was a thing.
Already started it.
Oh.
Speaking of which, can you link that because I'm going to host the stream on Monday.
Sweet. Give me 1 second. Apparently my copy pasta did not copy pasta my name. I just copy pasted Twitch, so I must fix.
At first, I was so sure that I heard copy pasta, and I was about to say something.
You did hear copy pasta.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I said.
Yes, that's so fucking great.
That is exactly what I had said. You heard correctly. So.
I don't know why Twitch keeps telling me that I'm not following people. Oh, I'm not logged in on this. That might make sense. I'll just open Chrome.
I love that beautiful face.
So, do you, are you playing a new character? I just don't know. I don't, but,
You'll learn from, all the fun things that I've planned.
If you say so.
Ooh, bread of Pepsi. Thank you. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, nerds.
Well, damn.
What's up, slut?
What's up, gamers?
There. Those were my stat rolls for a backup character. They're awful.
Ugh.
I had to keep them.
You.
I know. I'm upset. Yeah, I was like, what is the, I had to ask Oprah. I was just like, what is the intelligence score that makes you a vegetable? It's like 1. Oh, good, my character's 4 away from 1, from being a vegetable. It's like, that's great. Great.
Great.
Yeah, well, I know that there is a monster that can reduce your intelligence by like 4 points. And I'm like, let's hope that doesn't ever come up, because, yeah.
I mean, it's okra though. It could. It very well
very
could.
much could. My character is nuts for 4 days, and, you know, she had one good thing of like a nat 20 lightning guiding bolt through a forehead of a sorcerer. That was great. We got like 1,000 XP for that encounter. It was amazing, but she's still crazy. Welcome back. She's still nuts. Paranoid nuts.
Oh, thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't me. I actually logged in and it said I was following.
It wasn't me.
I love how it said, just hosted the stream for 1 viewer, 0 viewers watching now. It's like, I'm here.
I think I was the 1 viewer for half a second.
It's okay, I'm chilling here. Can't watch it, but I'm chilling.
Chilling.
Oh, did you ever fix that one spell, Luna?
What spell?
The Vicious Mockery? You did not.
There's nothing wrong with my vicious mockery.
It is, because it's for bards only.
Nah.
And you're supposed to choose from the wizard spell list. I mean, I don't care. That's up to the DM, but I remember that from last time.
What are we talking about?
I
How did
said
that happen?
she took Vicious Mockery as a cantrip, and I'm like, that's almost strictly bards. And she's supposed to choose from the wizard spell list for a arcane trickster.
I didn't even think of that. I don't even fucking remember that. But yeah. Oh wait, I thought she got Vicious Mockery because of her racial bonus. I thought that was
No, she has minor illusion for racial.
Could I
Yeah.
switch them and keep them?
I mean, I don't care.
I mean,
You.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
There you go. I still just love your personality section.
My ooos and
Yeah.
oos.
All of those. Ooze.
Oh,
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
there it is. Be gone, background bleep. You are no longer needed.
Goodbye, background bleep. You were loved.
Not really.
Savage.
Poor background bleep.
Fuck that.
Last stuff. Get to go.
Who had a background beep?
Damn you, background bleep.
Mine is
Damn
muted.
you. Pretty much what I'm doing at this point is just making it to where everyone can see each other's character sheets
Jesus.
for like stuff that is very secretive, only the one have.
Yep.
Because sometimes it's a lot easier when everyone can see your sheet and then point out like completely like, where is it? I don't know. Totally not the best living representation of that at all. All right. We got everybody here. I'm gonna grab the music.
Music time.
Dance to the music. Ooh, you know what? This'll. As usual, after you get the link for music, you may have to adjust it accordingly.
Will do.
It is posted up.
Who's doing the bidding?
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry, it's my phone.
Yeah, let's
Or
keep
can you
all
mute
phones
it?
and such to
Yeah.
silent if we can. Start right, bro. All right. Welcome back to the far-flung Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Last time, Sola, Candor, Grandolph, Bliss, and Vorton. Most of you were able to escape this, the man-made 10th level of hell, as we will dub it, by doing your best to fight off a pretty powerful armored helm demon. But unfortunately, Vorton was slain in the midst of the fight after you were able to take down 2 of the hellhounds that the helm was commanding. Bliss and Candor were able to break into the back room, steal the orb that was needed, and pocket a little bit of gold on the side. The rest of the group were able to run back to the safe room, where they were then all teleported by one of their newest allies, a half-elf wizard, partially known for his insanity, to say the least. You all end up waking up then into a destroyed city. A battlefield lawn ended. The fires put out only small things of smoke pouring from what was once there. Some of you are not handling your escape from literal hell very well, and some of you are more curious and using this moment of respite to distract yourself from the colleague you lost and the hellish nightmare you aren't entirely sure you fully. You're all still in this wreckage of a city, and I suppose the first thing I want to do is ask what everyone else is doing. The last thing I remember is that, Sola, you were kind of flying around trying to see what you can make out about the battles.
Yeah, and it was mostly just dead people.
Yep, lots of dead people, few gnolls, and it was pretty much it. The gnoll body count is massively less than the everything else that's not evil body count. While you're out into the battlefield itself, do you try to look for anything specific, or do you just fly back to the group to let them in on the terrible situation?
I'll fly back and let everybody know kind of what I've found.
Feel free to play it out, and I will interrupt when needed.
Just double checking. That big silver one, who saw that? Are we talking about just like the boss of that area? I remember us talking about it previously, but
Ah, that's right. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Yes, you had a vision, a broken memory of what happened before. And the best way to explain it is to think of a large, giant, almost gnoll-like beast just stomping through the city. It was all a bunch of flashes of just different images. You couldn't really make too much out of it. And also, to elaborate to both the players and the viewers, gnolls are basically hyena. Have a reputation in the Forgotten Realms for not being very good.
That's fair.
okay. So yeah, I'll head back to the group then.
Okay. You fly back to the group, no major issues getting back, and I will let you guys play out the scene as some of you are still freaking out and some of you are just trying to catch your bearings.
Okay, I'll fly down to the group and say, I think we need to go.
Resounding silence.
You're all just too shook.
I can't talk. I'm dead.
Yeah, fair.
Boogity boogity, I got fucking dead.
I've caught the disease called dead,
That's unfortunate.
It's very contagious, be careful.
spread by swords.
Spread by sword. That's a good one.
Various other blunt objects.
Or sharp ones.
Or sharp ones.
Or explodey ones. Or, just anything, really.
Bliss is gonna stand up and kind of collect Candor off the ground.
I'm just clutching Tempest and petting her and just holding her close while I'm trying to calm myself.
There's a lot of dead gnolls around here. Like, quite a few, I guess. I mean, not as many as the bodies, but yeah.
Do we see them from where we are? Are they just like everywhere, or?
Excuse me. As you guys look around, I'm not gonna make you roll a check. You plainly see humans, dwarves, what you presume to be elves or half-elves, even a couple of other humanoid races that you maybe don't recognize or haven't seen in a while. From the snake-like people of the Yuan-Ti to a couple like different, like more bird-like humanoids with their claws sort of peeking out from rubble. It is a mishmash of carnage and destruction around you, and the bodies are very long. And you're all kind of waking up to the realization that you're in the middle of the end of a war zone.
Interesting. Well, where should we head to then?
Somewhere that's not here, perhaps?
Question.
Shoot.
From any of my visions, can I remember or vividly did I see where these creatures came from, like direction-wise?
I want you to make a history check with disadvantage, and then a religion check with standard roll.
Okay, so I click disadvantage, right? And then click it?
Yes, you do.
History, you said?
Yes.
Oh.
And then
Try... Go ahead.
you said a normal something?
A normal religion check. Okay. With the history check, you try to recall more from the images that flashed in your head, but even as you're thinking about them, almost like a dream, they're already fading from your subconscious. The only thing that vaguely is remaining is the face and the body of that creature that was just overlooming every...
How tall was it? Like, how big was it?
Larger than a building.
Oh.
That's how big, Bean.
Mm-hmm. And with that religion check, you were able to, like, vaguely know, like, you know of this, thing. Give me 1 second. Adds. Sorry if I pull up this. Now roll 20 is just being purpose. Wait longer. Come on. There we go. All right. You know that what that thing was this.
Enough.
Ooh.
It is the Demon Prince Yanag, the sort of deity to the gnolls, Lord of Savagery, Beast of Butchery, and multiple different. But the biggest one that comes to your mind is simply Destroy.
I can take it.
You can take on a god.
It's fine.
He's Grandolph, Slayer of Gods, obviously.
Obviously.
That's very
Among other
true.
things.
Speaking of which, is Path here? Did he join us?
You do not see Path.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But I do want everyone to make a perception.
I perceive that I have died. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just gonna keep on making jokes this whole time. That's
Please do. They're pretty on point. It's really hard to see you guys from heaven.
I can't see you guys from here.
The reception's terrible.
Ooh.
God, the Wi-Fi in heaven sucks. Sola with a secondary with Candor, you both notice it first, and for fun, I'll let you choose who you see this on. But on whoever you choose to see, there is a marking on that person's neck.
Is it on everybody's neck? Can I roll? Can we just look around and look and see?
I'll say that for Sola, with a nat 20, you kind of notice that everyone... Yeah, that's what we'll do. Sola, you notice that everyone has these markings on their neck, and Candor, you notice that Sola has the marking on her neck.
Do I know what these things are?
Both of you can roll an Arcana check if you wish.
Cool. Hang on.
Ba-ba.
Man, that's a weird fucking tattoo. I don't remember getting that.
We all fucking blacked out and got tattoos.
Sounds about right.
That happens.
It's the Hangover, but with more destruction.
Hell.
Candor, you don't know the specifics per se, but you do know that is a binding mark. Like a magic that sort of entraps you in some sort of contract with something.
That's reassuring.
Ooh.
And at this point, you then all hear from Pagif. Hello? Can you all hear me fine?
No, God.
Excellent, it's
Yes.
working! I was hoping you all had made it out, although it looks like the Dragonborn was not with you when you all escaped. That's a bit of a problem. It could have used its muscle. How are you all doing?
I mean, better.
It's better than hell.
Well, it just depends on, I guess, where you died, but I'll take your word for it. Where are you all exactly? I could easily open a portal and come to you.
What city is this? What are we in?
If you want to fly back up and make a... I want to say... I love that you changed your fucking picture to a tombstone. I appreciate that.
I thought you would.
Let's say... For you, Sola, you are a noble. You know the map of this pretty well. I'm gonna say you would roll nature check or history. History with advantage.
History with advantage. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, history with advantage. You're basically trying to remember, like, oh yeah, I've seen this on a map before. Okay. It takes you a hot second to figure it out, but you do understand that you guys are in, well, what was Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
Which is... right... Here. It is in Faerun, I can promise you that.
Are you sure?
Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm clicking it now. Should all be able to see me clicking.
All the way down there.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, hugging the coast there. You know of Baldur's Gate is that it is kind of most known for its prison and its sort of very big divergence between the rich and the poor. The only other city in Faerun to have that much of a gap equivalent is in Waterdeep, but Baldur's Gate was a special occasion because there was a literal gate that separated them.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, I'll fly back down then.
Thank you for the arrow.
You're welcome.
Where exactly is this voice coming from, by the way?
In your heads.
Oh. Well, I guess I shall just reply then. Currently we seem to be in what looks to have at one point been Baldur's Gate.
Oh, that's a bit far away. What do you mean by at one point?
Is this a two-way channel? Can you see anything out of my eyes?
I mean, I could do something about that, I guess, but that would take more magic than I'm willing to spend. And my investment in you hasn't really resulted in me wanting to do any more exponential effort on my end.
Oh, believe me, it's worth it.
How about you just give me a description of what's around?
Carnage, death.
A whole lot of nothing.
I can tell you that I saw a prophetic fucking memory of this place.
Wait, are you being, like, metaphorical or literal? Like, is the city just...
It's gone.
Oh, no. No.
Yes. Yes. It's gone.
You guys don't hear anything back for a little while.
Where'd it go?
And then he comes back and, alright. This is, problematic, but the good news is, which is really hard to say when hundreds of thousands of people have probably died horribly, we can get the hell out of this realm. I'm just going to need to take care of a couple of things. Who's in?
What do you mean by that?
Don't worry, it was a rhetorical question. I own you now. Hold your breath, this is going to be a little disorientating.
I'm going to immediately hold my breath.
You don't own me.
For everyone who said something both rather than immediately holding your breath, you all immediately feel as if the floor beneath you was literally taken out from you as you all begin to fall, and within seconds, you just pop back into that little room that you all had originally escaped in.
Good, we're back.
Yeah, for those of you who held your breath, you're fine. Everyone else, take 2 points of damage. As when you hit the ground and are disorientated, it is a big, like, air just punched out of your stomach. And in this room, you immediately see Pagif himself sitting on his fancy little chair, looking at all of you and says, good, that was actually the better timed, and nobody lost any limbs. Did anybody lose any limbs? Tails, fingers, are they all there?
Can I check?
Everyone can check if they want. They can make an investigation check.
Someone's got phantom.
I'm in heaven!
Amazing.
Grandolph and Sola, you immediately are able to, like, confirm that you're fine. Bliss, oh my god, where's your arm? It was just stuck in your sleeve. Never.
Just have a panic attack.
Okay, good. I'm glad that everyone got here with minimal issues. He then gets up and starts moving towards a piece of armor that kind of like just the wall behind him like begins to turn and open up as it sort of just adjusts to have like a pretty nice looking set of armor before him as he kind of removes the chest plate and starts like scribbling something on the inside. Now, while I'm busy with this, I suppose I should probably explain how exactly it is you all escaped hell. Does anybody want to take any educated guesses?
Does magic count as an educated guess?
Something to do with the orb we picked up?
Yes, kind of. So the orb was sort of just a way for me to pinpoint where exactly our souls resided in that makeshift hell. From there, I was able to then use my magic of my little cubby room here and teleport us into a completely different plane of existence, which thankfully was home, or unthankfully if you consider whatever the hell took down Baldur. That's not there. Technically speaking, you're all still dead. Those, have you noticed the markings on your neck?
Yes.
No.
What
Yes.
marking?
The
And
one
I
on your
start
neck.
trying to look at my own neck, which doesn't work very well.
Do you just start like a puppy? You're kind of like spinning in circles and you keep trying to look.
Yeah. Candor, is there something on my neck?
I just look up, and I'm just like, they're finding marks.
As you if you take a closer look at the markings, Candor, you realize that it's literally a crudely drawn version of Pagif's face giving the peace sign.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You see, thanks to those magical markings, I've basically routed your soul back into the material plane. Technically speaking, you don't have bodies. Your soul just sort of attunes to everything around you. You're pretty much a ghost.
Weird.
I know, right? I've only experimented on it with myself once, which kind of a desperation move, kind of like the painting, but as I've said, clones. Also, don't look into the restroom. It's going to need to be cleaned up. So, I'm going to make the assumption that it was something very big, scary, probably devil or demonic that took down Baldur's Gate, which simply means one thing. Fuck this universe, it's going to die, so we're going to leave.
Where are we going?
Not here. But there are a couple of scores I'd like to settle before the end of the universe, and if you all want bodies back, and probably to get a little rich, wink wink, nudge nudge, you can work for me, or I can send you all back to hell.
I want my
Oh
money back.
gee, I wonder what our options actually are.
I just told you. Oh, that was sarcasm! I'm not good with sarcasm.
I feel like you guys got the short end of the stick of this deal.
Yeah. Haha.
Says the one who's dead.
Well, it doesn't sound like we have much of a choice, so what exactly do you want us to do?
Well, first things, we're going to steal a lot of gold and platinum from an old colleague of mine who snubbed me during one of my earlier research endeavors. To be fair, how was I supposed to know that poison frog creatures would also learn how to breathe fire when I used that concoction?
Ooh.
Also, apparently it was poisonous fire, so if the fire didn't burn you, the point is, failure is just the next step into success. And unfortunately, I'm very jaded by all of this. So we're going to take all of their money. Or at least as much as we can take.
Sounds like a plan.
I can barely hear you, Grandolph.
Sadness.
Yeah, speak up.
Shove that mic into that mouth.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, ASMR, do it.
Yes.
No!
Breathe on me, Daddy.
Now I just need to finish final pieces. Ah, perfect. Would anybody like to donate wait, no, you have. Well, alright.
I'm sorry, what?
He bites into his thumb, ignoring your question, and sort of like dabs a little bit of blood on the inside of the suit. And you've noticed that he dabs. You've noticed that he's lined the inside of the suit, the helmet, the arms, and the legs with a very intricate set of runes. And in the very middle of it, everyone can roll a religion check if they want to. Excuse me.
No, that sounds a lot like human transmutation.
You said religion? Yeah?
Yep.
It appears to be dragon heaven that I'm in.
Grandolph, you're able to kind of just by a glance of it realize this is a very intricate system of glyphs to basically do what would be sort of a resurrection spell, but it's not quite a resurrection spell. It's very different.
I see.
Put that back here. And a 1, and a 2, and a skibbity-boo. He begins channeling magic into the armor. And at this point, we will cut away to pull over to Voltron. As you felt your soul pass, Vorton, as you felt your soul pass, you felt this weight on you sort of feel lifted. You feel yourself just floating further and further onward. And when you kind of open your eyes, you see, sort of blurry and dazed by a bright light, a very just beautiful, magnificent, draconic form hovering over.
Mother?
Oh my god.
Close. And you recognize that as, like, just instinctively, you recognize the voice Bahamut.
Oh. I cry. Tears of joy. And sob hysterically. Because I assume that's what someone would do when they meet their god.
Yeah, that's a good reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to have to tell you that you will need to save your tears. Something more important.
What is more important than meeting you and being with you, my god?
Wow.
Whatever the hell that is.
I have many questions.
The fucking demon realm portal opens up and everyone attacks Bahamut.
I jump to his defense.
He says, what's always more important? People, worship, fight. It is not yet your time.
Not worthy.
But I've died. How is it not my time?
Sorry, the connection is really bad.
Oh, here. Let me try.
I really shouldn't be going through a subway while we're on this call, but I don't really have a lot of time.
What is a subway? I know not of what you speak.
Don't worry. One day I will show you both Subway and the sandwich. But for now, there are evils that will be rampaging through the field, burning homes, families. Above all, knowledge of us will be lost. And you feel and you see Bahamut's claw sort of reach down to you. And just before anything else happens, he says, I cannot allow it. You feel and see the claw of Bahamut pierce your chest just a little at first before your body is pierced with this claw, and it is painful and fiery and cold and grossly disgusting. It's every element of pain you could imagine. And then when it finally stops, you blink and you're looking at Pagif as he steps back and kind of claps to himself. Ah, good! It's been a while since I've been able to bind a soul to an inanimate object in a while. I haven't had a lot of practice with it. I haven't had a lot of practice with a lot of things. I should do a lot more with it.
I drop to my knees and cry.
Oh. Somebody met their god, and I just took them away from that.
I look at him. Just, why did you do this to me?
Money, of course!
Oh gosh.
Deep
Look,
breaths,
I don't know about
Spartan.
I don't know about the rest of you, per se, but I probably belong in hell. Too bad nothing will ever kill me.
I will make sure you get there. Mark my words.
Oh, it'll just be a minor setback. Now then, who wants to know from who we're stealing from?
Oh my
Me?
god, your picture.
I do.
Yeah, it's literally just Al from Full Metal with a top hat and a mustache, and I'm here for it.
That's sick.
It's the fucking best. I'm so happy.
I've been planning this for like at least 10 minutes.
It was well planned, sir.
Thank you.
So, as I was just discussing with the rest of your colleagues here, I want to get a little bit of payback from two individuals who were pretty good funders of my research until I became economically liable, as the phrasing goes. You will be going to one Audrey and Alexander Gouch's little soiree ball, as it. They recently just got done funding the first expedition into recuperating a culture from a lost land since the last spell plague. Are any of you interested in the history of it? Because I'm sure it's not. I just want the gold. But I heard mercenaries really like to have their bases covered.
Oh really? I couldn't care less.
Excellent, that we can continue on this way. The interesting thing is that there's been a lot that they've been able to scoop up from the distant land. They've done a good job of too. We have different new versions of coffee. We've got new gems and emeralds. Very lucrative for arcane-focused market for all of that. And they're hosting a little festival and propping up one of the people who was one of the main expeditions, who was super into a culture, whatever. Point is, money. They have lots of it, and honestly, if someone happened to steal it, not many people would care that much, because they kind of hoard it.
I see.
So what I will need you all to do is rather simple. You need to either find your way somehow into the party, whether you sneak in, pose as, I don't know, the working staff, maybe even get a job as the working staff. That would be... Or even just stealing a ticket from one of the other actual participants. I don't really mind however you do it, but get in, get the money, and then get out.
Sounds
So,
easy enough.
why exactly do we need this money?
Gold is gold. You think I'm gonna take us to a different world that doesn't use money? That's what civilization is built on.
Won't they notice it's like not their money in the other worlds?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing about magic. You can cheat.
You should.
No,
you should know
I do
this,
that a lot.
Bliss.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Point taken.
Yes. So, any questions? I'm happy to answer. He kind of sits down, crosses his legs, and like his teacup kind of floats to him as he takes a sip.
What was their last name again?
Gouch. Gouch.
Of course.
First time I heard of it, I thought it was some sort of disease.
Where do they keep their money that you want so badly?
I don't know.
Helpful.
Probably under their mattress. That's where I would keep mine.
Duly noted.
I want... Bliss, I want you to roll an insight check on Pakif after you said that.
Oh.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Nah, you don't notice the thing.
Stop trying.
See, the issue is, they're rich, they're paranoid, and they like to hoard money. So I don't entirely know, but I can promise you, it is in their manor in Water.
In where? Sorry?
Waterdeep. It's another coastal city, sort of like Baldur's Gate. Like I said, very split between the rich and the poor. Not to the same extent as Baldur's Gate, though. It actually has a pretty interesting economy right now. Griffin Riders, very good sales, and good navy. They sort of are one of the bigger upkeeps for coastal trade, which also explains why the Couches were so interested. Thank you for pointing that out. So interested in overseas expeditions. I think. Crap.
How long were you in that tent, in that hell, exactly?
He just slowly brings this teacup to his mouth and sips.
How do you know this is all happening?
He takes another sip. But this time, he kind of smiles at you.
I'll sigh.
Let me put it this way. One way or another, you can always find someone who needs your service. And as repayment, sometimes information on the goings-on of the world is just enough instead of gold. Especially when what you're getting information on is gold.
Speaking of which, that other fellow that we were with, where did he go?
Oh, the Dragonborn? He's right there. He points to the
No.
armored suit.
The other one.
The one that fainted?
The one that was bleeding out on your couch.
Oh, I didn't need him, so I just sort of let the magic just do as they pleased with him.
Ah.
I mean, for all I know, he could still be in that hell. Sucks to be him. Takes another sip. Doesn't it just show how lucky all of you are to work for me now?
So lucky.
I wouldn't call it lucky.
So, like, do we get a cut of the gold, or...
I'll give you your bodies. All right. You'll probably get my heart. I don't want to say no to a little girl. I will give you 5%.
What?
5%.
5% doesn't seem like very much to stake our lives on, especially when there's no guarantee that you'll give us our bodies back.
I mean, for 5%, you may as well get the gold yourself.
He smiles at that.
Each or alone? Like altogether?
I mean, as she said, I want to keep the gold for myself, so... At this point, I will let any of you who want to try to make a persuasion roll. You can double up and help someone, giving them advantage, or you can just go for it on your own.
Does anyone have higher than 5 persuasion?
No.
Yeah, that's metagaming.
This kind of metagaming I'm okay with, because this is teamwork focused.
I have 0.
Mine's
I
5.
will help.
5.
I will help Bliss.
All right, before
Marty, you said you have 5 too?
Yes.
Oh,
Can we, like
I'll
double
say
team
I'll,
it?
I'll say for this, how about you guys all huddle and talk amongst yourselves to make a plan on how you're going to go about this.
Either we get more gold, or he needs to give us some sort of equipment in order to better get the gold. I would take that.
Yes, I would take 5% plus equipment, but
I'm sure this magical nut job has something we can use.
I mean, if he doesn't give us more, we can just find where he keeps his gold and steal it.
I'm just going to look at.
I feel like currently that would be unwise.
Well, I mean, we wait till after he gives us our bodies back, and then we steal his gold.
He could probably take them away from us, though. If he can give us our bodies, he could probably take them away.
I kind of look back at him like, I don't know. He's kind of scrawny.
Bliss, do you think that he keeps his money under his mattress?
I mean, isn't that where everyone keeps their money?
No.
No. Do you?
I mean, yeah, occasionally.
Okay.
Among other places. But my mattress doesn't exactly exist anymore, so there's that.
All that money you lost.
Yeah.
At that moment, Bliss, make a wisdom saving throw as the realization of how much money you lost in the attack overwhelms you.
No.
There's a brief desire for a tear, but like that one cop from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, you're like, get back in there.
Oh, Lord.
I just I think about the money that I've lost, and then I go, Candor, you lost a lot of money too, didn't you?
If you want to make a wisdom saving throw, Candor, you can. I kind of get the implication that Bliss is the more money hungry of the two of you.
I'm okay.
You're okay, but
I'm
a part
okay.
of you is like,
Yeah. More money hungry. I mean, who keeps asking for 60-70% of a cut? Yeah. Bliss.
I mean, you're the treasure whore, not me.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Are you sure that you're not part dragon? You know?
No,
You sleep on your money.
You can't say that. There's dragons present.
as you all turn to the very sad armor.
And I'm just
I mean,
looking
does
point
he
at
really
myself.
count anymore? And I knock on a chest plate.
you hear a hollow ting ting ting.
I sob briefly.
Just excuse me, I am part dragon, thank you. Gosh.
I mean, yeah, but you don't matter that much.
I'm just flipping you off.
And I double flip you off.
This is okay.
Uh,
I'll remember this.
You hear Pakov go, so, do we have a deal?
We're negotiating a deal. Thank you. Turn back to the group.
Like, are we still in the same room? We're all just huddled around in a fucking circle.
Yeah, literally that's what this is, and I kind of feel like, Vorton, you're not even a part of the circle, you're like sitting in the middle of the circle as you're weeping.
Just crying. We're throwing you a pity party.
If you keep crying, your armor's gonna run.
I say that we go for at least 10% and equipment. At least try for it.
I mean, yeah, we could start there.
Yeah.
Any objections to 10% and
Can we specify that it has to be equipment that we are actually able to use?
Yes, we should.
That's probably a good idea.
Alright, so I will ask you guys, I understand who's assisting, who is taking the brunt of the persuasion?
Not me.
Uh,
I'm not very persuasive.
Marty, it'd be you or me.
What do you want?
I mean, I've been rolling trash. I don't know about you.
I have also been rolling relatively trash, so...
I mean, you got that one natural 20.
And now it's gone.
Can we, like, both try to persuade him at the same time?
Then he can't.
I will
Can he
say...
hear us?
You don't know. I'm gonna say, while I will allow that, only one of you gets the advantage from the assist.
Okay.
For this moment, I'm gonna side with Sola, so you're on your own for this.
Okay.
You're trying to reach for more money, and he knows you're greedy.
I will reach for kind of a little bit more modest. I'm going to probably just go for more equipment and a little bit more money.
I mean, that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
So.
Alright.
Okay.
What I'm gonna ask is, Kandor, how do you help? What do you say to help Sola with her perception?
Hype man.
So the better equipped we are, the more money we can steal, and the more likely we will have success. And the more money we steal, the more money we should be paid. That's fair. But I mean, you wouldn't want to send us in there, hopelessly equipped with what we have now, and just like motioning to all of my stuff and using prestidigitation to make myself look really grimy and all of my equipment look gross.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna say that you do that with both you. You do it to the entire group. You even make poor Vorton look like a rusty piece of metal.
Yes, it's like, I mean, we would just die and you'd lose the people that you want to do all the dirty work for you.
All right, so Sola, with that assistance, how are you going to sell your guys' case?
Well, as you can see, we are terribly underprepared, especially for this fancy soiree party that you're mentioning. To be quite honest with you, we all look like shit. We are in terrible need of assistance in any way, shape, or form, preferably something that we can actually use in our adventure. Also, money would help us because it would be able to allow us to kind of further assist you. Some mutual help.
While she's talking about this, I'm using minor illusion to show us like little really sad looking people walking up to a really fancy party and just being shunned.
Dude, I'm just picturing you and Bliss, like, getting on your knees, giving puppy dog eyes, and, like, you're using your magic to extenuate the puppy dog. Alright. Sola, go ahead and roll Persuasion with advantage. That was... Both of you did fantastic. That's really good. Natural 20!
Oh my god.
I didn't even need to bother with that kind of roll. There it is.
He sort of like puts the teacup down, stands up, takes a breath, and says, I have to apologize to all of you. I completely did not realize how excellent of bullshit slingers you are. It's fantastic! But you do have a point. You're not exactly going to get into their party. No, a full offense. You're all grimy and gross. Even before you did your little illusionary tricks. But again, props. Very slimy. I appreciate that. All right. Let's say. I will give you each 200 gold from my own coffers for you to go out, get gussied up, get the equipment. We'll make it 300 actually, because depending on the outfit, you're going to need a. But this way you can actually get properly announced. We're going to keep your pay at a modest 5% for everyone, not just the group. Also, I need you all to keep in mind, there's thousands of gold and platinum at play here, so even 5% is going to be a fortune.
Well, that sounds good.
That'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as promised, I will give you all your bodies, and he kind of slinks over to you, Vorton, and I'll let you go.
Fine.
Excellent! Oh, I'm also sort of slightly banking on you all actually liking being thieves and sticking around anyway, but let's see how this goes first.
I just like nudge Bliss and like motion between the two of us as like we've been thieving for a very long time. Excuse me.
Like, since I could walk.
Yes, but this is the big leagues.
Excuse me.
Listen.
He kind of crosses his legs and kind of like leans up against the arm of his chair, listening.
We've worked our way up in our own thieves guild, and we've done plenty of jobs. Maybe not to such a grand scale, but trust me,
I mean, like, we weren't the toppest of dogs, but we got most of the stuff that came in there.
Yeah.
I think you've offended them. I did not expect their ego to be so high about this.
Listen,
Excuse
I'm a
me.
damn good thief.
She is a damn good thief. Don't you even try to say anything.
And I mean, he's pretty good at fencing shit, so...
Well, thank you. You know, I try.
This
I mean, you do pretty
this makes Pagath's eyes go a little wide. You're a bart.
A what?
A what?
A barter. You take things, and you're able to sell them. Probably not at the right price. Wink, wink.
Of course, that's what I specialize in.
I have a special
mean-
job for you. One that if you do right, I'll up the gold to 10% each.
I'm listening.
You see, this is where we need to pay a little more attention to the expedition that... The person that they hired is one Sastine. She's actually a local of far-off land. Thing is, where they get the resource. And if I understand this correctly, she's not happy with it. I need you to make a deal with her. Make a deal for me. If I can have gems, those arcane focuses, and to get my coffee back. It's coffee. That would set them back the gouges. Century. It would practically ruin the family fortune! And it would put me on quite the ringer.
I mean, that sounds easy enough.
I'm all for ruining people's lives, honestly.
I will look sadly over at Vorton.
I mean, not like that. Come on, that was an accident.
Oh no, I totally did that to him on purpose. He was already dead. He wasn't used to me dead.
Oh, no, I meant the... yeah, never mind.
Well, it looks like all of you have a job to get to. When you open the door behind you, you will be in Waterdeep. You can peruse the different shops as you like, find what you're looking for. More importantly, remember, none of you are meant to be there. Get a job, ticket, or sneak in. Any of you get caught, I've never met you in my life.
That's fair.
I mean, to be fair, we never met you in our lives.
Good one.
Oh, cheeky. I like you all. You're fun. Well, without further ado, get on with it, and he like tries to shoo you all.
I guess we'll go.
Yes.
Vorton stands up and turns to him and says, "What about our allowance to buy our gear?"
Yes, give me one moment. He kind of leaves the room for a few minutes, allowing you guys to do as you want for a little bit. Otherwise,
What's in this room?
I move.
pretty much the same thing as what you guys saw before: alcohol and books.
I move.
I take some alcohol.
I move everything just enough that I know it will bug him if when he notices.
The most despicable of all acts.
Shift
That-
everything like an inch to the right.
I want
You're
to
mean
find...
one, Grandolph.
I have a macro for this.
Okay, hold the fuck on. Okay, so here's where I'm getting fucked up. I'm literally watching Discord to catch this. Grandolph's fucking thing pops up on Discord. Zach, yours doesn't. It doesn't pop up when you speak on my end.
Oh my god, really? Oh
That's
no.
unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
So that's half the reason I keep mixing this up. Also, you both sound like the same person. I'm convinced you're the same
What if
person.
I do this? Now we're both Zach.
No.
You have to change your profile picture, too.
I don't want to get Uncle What's His Nuts.
Oh, how dare you? It's Uncle Iroh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
How dare. You know what? Now I'm going to be able to remember Grandolph because he had to fucking insult the greatest man to ever live.
I
Right.
couldn't remember his name. It's been so long since I watched it.
Yeah, that's no excuse. You
I still haven't seen all of it.
There.
Sure.
Chew her a new one.
Lips.
I mean, we started watching it. We just started watching other things as well.
You gotta stop that.
Listen, I'll watch it when you freaking get on She-Ra, bitch.
I'm going to send Luna back to hell.
Do it.
Yay.
Whatever, I will capitalize on that shit. Don't try me.
Fucking Bliss becomes the thief queen of hell.
Probably.
Alright, you guys are each, you guys kind of grab alcohol, move some stuff around to fuck with him, and he comes out and hands you each a small pouch of 300 gold.
Yay.
Nice.
Money, money, money.
Now, if there's nothing else, I'm going to go take care of some things and do a little tidying up. Who touched my books?
I leave
Does everyone just immediately run out the door?
Yes.
Yup.
Excellent.
We're going shopping, bitches.
Yep, that sounds exactly like Randolph's favorite thing in the world.
Yas, queen.
So for reference, how big is this suit of armor?
Oh yeah, how is he gonna sneak in?
So, the way I'm picturing it is, how big was Vorton before he died?
6'5".
Oh god.
He is now 7 foot.
Ooh. Yay.
Amazing.
Big boy. Get a guard job. Or he could pose as a set of armor.
Next question. You said it was plate armor, right?
Yep, plate armor.
Ooh.
You are a living suit of plate armor.
Okay, so next question. Am I aware of what's inside the armor? Like, if there's something in it? Say I place this bag of coins within me.
Oh, like Bender? Yes, you could totally do that.
Cool. And
You know what?
how
I'm
about
gonna
people?
Hold on. I'm gonna roll a D100 for something. You just gave me a fucking cool ass idea, and I want to see.
Does he get like violated if we go inside of him?
What would it feel like?
Okay, so here's the thing: if you continue to explore this in character, I will be able to answer all your questions about what happens when something gets put inside you.
Okay.
Oh,
So, Vorton slowly takes off his head
Oh god.
and takes the coin bag, and just drops it into the hole.
When that happens, I want everyone to make a perception check.
Oh.
Hey.
Do I have to perceive this? This is my own body.
I'm gonna say no, that you just automatically sort of check it.
Yeah.
Bliss, you're the first one to notice. You did not hear that gold pouch drop and hit a bottom.
Oh, I was hoping he was gonna jingle when he walked.
Okay, I reach into the hole and to grab the bag.
As you reach in, your arm kind of like goes a bit elbow deep, and then you pull the gold back out. No problem. Also, while your head is off, like you're like literally seeing everything from like wherever you're holding your head.
Okay. I place my head back on.
It's a giant bag of holding.
I place my head back on and go, "So, what do we need to smuggle?"
Bliss, I'm gonna say because of that nat 20, because above game you know, yes, he has an armored suit of holding.
Okay.
Yes.
Next thing, can I unstrap my chest piece?
We're just all watching this man violate himself.
I'm going to say.
I mean, it's amusing, so.
Question though,
Yes,
before
yes.
this continues. Where the fuck are we?
You guys are at the outer gates of Waterdeep.
I circled it.
Okay, can we do
I
this
was
somewhere
assuming.
private?
Oh, you guys are like a little ways off still, like on the side of a road. Like you guys can like pull off a little further and test.
Can I look to see if there's anybody around here? This man has started violating himself. It's the essential, like, man in a trench
He is
coat
doing
flashing.
illegal stripping, yes. Public indecency of the
The
highest
only
order.
acceptable kind of illegal stripping.
What am I supposed to roll?
Perception.
Okay. No.
Actually,
And you don't see anybody.
okay.
Um,
How big is my head hole?
Do you know what a Goliath is?
A Goliath.
they're big,
Okay.
tall people.
Think
Okay.
of The Rock if he had gray skin.
Okay, yeah.
Like his neck thickness is about as big as your hole is.
How wide is Bliss?
That's a question for Bliss.
That is a rude question to ask a lady.
It's true.
Would she fit into my head hole?
Probably, most definitely. I have the agility of a cat.
Okay. Turn to Bliss. I'm like, I could smuggle you in there.
I mean, I don't need smuggling, but
Candor, Bliss, and Grandolph make an Arcana check when he suggests that. Fucking
I thought that was
Grandolph.
my 20 for a minute
The
there.
wise.
Grandolph
the
proving
Wise.
that he
Why
is
don't I
wise.
get to roll for that? What the hell?
Oh, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, you have magic. I keep forgetting like all of you are magic users.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Well, I don't need to know, but I'm assuming. It's all good.
Yeah, Grandolph, immediately when that's suggested, your brain, like, almost screams inside your head, like, oh my god, no, she couldn't breathe.
I'm like, oh my god, don't do that. She will suffocate.
Oh. Well, there goes that
What
idea.
if we get me like one of those breathing tubes that you use underwater, like a straw to the outside?
I don't think that's how that works.
like a bamboo shoot and, like, put his helmet
Yeah.
on and kind of
Or-
stick it out of his neck.
Yeah.
Or
So like I'm out of the bag of holding, quote unquote, but like I can still breathe.
I take my head off and put my hand into my helmet.
It's just a helmet. Like, your fist kind of, like, stops at a certain point in your head. It's weird. It's like, while your hand is, like, sticking, like, behind your eyes, you kind of blind yourself. It's like covering your eyes, but on the inside.
Okay.
It's terrifying.
I nod and just put my head back on.
When you say your nod, do you mean your body nods, or, like, you're moving your head?
Yeah. It's my body. I'm just like,
Just like a twitch.
yeah.
I'm so glad you died. This is comedic gold.
Thanks.
Oh lord. Just weeps.
Okay. Well,
So
cool. I place my bag of gold back within my body. And
Okay.
I check the rest of myself. Do I have any gear on me or anything, or is it just my body?
You do have a weapon and no shield like you had before. So whatever weapon you had originally, we'll say that that was already a part of the arm.
Okay.
The sword is not like in a literal extension of your body, though. It is just a sword.
Yeah.
Or whatever weapon you have.
So I don't even have like my arcane focus.
Not...
Yours wasn't arcane, it was a holy symbol.
I'm gonna say that
Oh, yeah, my
you
holy
might
symbol.
need to experiment with that a little.
I am my holy symbol.
Yeah, you pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
How much can we fit in him? Do we know?
So, Grandolph 100% knows. Grandolph, a bag of holding is pretty much bottomless, as long as you don't tear the thing or break the thing that is holding your stuff.
So we could just literally fill him with gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well,
This is the plan.
You're all starting to realize that Pagif actually had a plan of how to smuggle out all the gold.
nice.
Everything. We are going to steal everything.
yes.
This is. You said it was relics, right?
It's gold, platinum, and yeah, if you can find like relics that were brought over from the other continent.
And these are magical people's houses, right? Like that's.
It hasn't been implied that per se the house is magical. You just know that it's from a rich family.
But the rich family was magical? Is that? Oh, they were just one of the donors for him, right?
Yeah,
They're gonna have magical shit in their house.
It's a good assumption. You can definitely think that is an assumption of yours, and it's a pretty strong one.
Okay. Dibs on any magic goodies.
Hey, I like magic
you
goodies
missed-
too.
Just looks at all of us.
Well, big dibs on magic goodies.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna fight her for magic goodies.
I feel like it's going to be a brawl for magic goodies.
maybe we just do what we and I look at this, what we always do, and we steal and then we sort it out later.
I think I should get first dibs on magic goodies because they will be in my body.
We will tip you upside down so fucking quick. Don't. You are basically our pinata. Please don't.
I'm a Strad Dragon born, hear me shout, tip me over and pour me out.
Oh my god.
You guys, at this point, while probably still arguing, begin your trek into water. The first thing you notice about Waterdeep is that it is very clean. It is a very bustling, very busy coastal city with multiple different races running about. You specifically notice that there's a lot of well-dressed humans and half-elves, and most of the other races, from tieflings to orcs, even a couple of goblins, are either closely following those humans or are just minding their own business.
Slaves.
This was ominous.
I mean,
Well, that's what I'm assuming they are.
I mean, pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yo.
That's racist.
There it is.
You know, I would argue with you, but since the word slaves got introduced, yeah, it was probably not the best turn of phrase for me. So I was gonna wait for you to figure this. No, they're employed.
Okay.
With money or their lives?
I'm gonna say everyone can roll a history check to know more about Waterdeep if they want.
Do I have any advantages?
You specifically do, yes,
Hey.
because you're fucking.
Suck it, Bliss.
Oh,
kiss
apparently
my
I don't
ass,
have
tin can.
Bliss and Vorton, you both know pretty well about Waterdeep. Vorton, you know that Waterdeep used to be a pretty hostilely racist city back during the earlier days of the Forgotten Realms. But since the rebirth of Faerun and the Chronicler and the Tome of Realms, one of the biggest things that humans sort of really started to do, especially in Waterdeep, is recognize the power and the influence that they carry and realize that they want to do more than just hoard and do stuff. They still want money, but they kind of realize if I invest in things, more good things will happen to me and everyone. So you definitely get the idea that these are people who are a combination of employees, investors, people who are trying to get money from these nobles to go on newer expeditions. And those who are kind of keeping away from it all are either jaded and didn't get what they wanted, or they're just passerbys. There's actually a handful of humans and half-elves and dwarves, too, especially dwarves, who are just sort of walking around minding their own business, but you very easily notice the nobles. Bliss, I am going to text you.
Ooh.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm going to say... Kandor, you can roll a second time for history on this due to Bliss. Bliss knows this, you would know. Okay, cool. I will share with you as...
Secrets. I mean, it's not really a secret.
It's a secret from the rest of the party,
So
unless
it
you want to
feels
share it.
like a secret.
No,
Let me
not
do this.
it's not a secret between us.
No,
No.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, back.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you, Bliss, you understand that while there's a lot of, like, good-heartedness and this air of, money to be had and money to be given, it's still Waterdeep. There's a lot of underhandedness here. There's a lot of crime that goes unchecked, and probably worse than ever, there's a lot of desperate people in general, everywhere. When they can't get the attention of the nobles, they have to resort to other investors.
Oh yeah.
And as you guys walk up, you do notice that there's a couple of people eyeballing you all. Not menacingly, it's like you're newcomers. They haven't seen you around in the group that you guys have.
Rude.
Randolph isn't being flamboyant enough, obviously. Gosh.
Oh, I can be flamboyant.
He's just
Make it
just
happen.
holding it back.
Yeah, totally.
For a later date.
He's got to save it for the party, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, you guys can shop where you want. So here's the interesting thing. Unlike a lot of other cities and towns in the game, Waterdeep doesn't have that many notable shops. I kind of have to make up stuff on the fly. So wherever you want to go, let me know, and I will work off of what you're looking for.
Well, Vorton would like to find a shield.
Okay, so you will
Yes,
need...
a blacksmith.
Yeah, you'll need to go to a blacksmith or a weapons or armor smith. I want to say an armor smith specifically.
He hunts out an armor smith.
Okay.
Would it
what
be
about
near like
everybody
a
else?
weaponsmith, perhaps?
I'm gonna go get that rapier.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna say. I will say every one of you will have to go to the trades ward, which is kind of like everywhere between the center and the coast end of the city at the docks is where everything. So you guys can go as you please with that. Vorton, you want a shield, so we will go to an armor smith for you. What is everybody else?
So like, what I'm looking for is a new sword, because I have a shitty dagger, some armor, and then some fine-ass clothing to wear over the armor. So like some
Okay.
silk robes or something.
Can we? Are we still in a group or are people fucking off?
I'm gonna say you guys can all work as a group, and we can take turns going to each places, or you can split off and partner up, or do as you please. I will make sure to keep things from staying too long for each action. You guys are shopping. You don't even know if you're gonna be in Waterdeep for very long. I'll come up with some NPCs, and we'll see how it goes.
I think it'd be wiser to first scope this place out to see kind of what the attire seems to be. We don't want to be overdressed or underdressed.
That's kind of hard for me.
All right, I gotta add something. Has anybody watched the show Final Space?
Yes.
No.
All right, for the one person who has, is Grandolph reminding you a lot of Tribor in the best ways?
Yeah.
Grandolph, do yourself a favor on YouTube later. Look up Tribor and understand what I mean, and you will love every second of what I'm mentioning. All right, so you guys want to kind of scope out the idea of like what the attire and everything's going to be for the party?
Yeah, I think that'd be wise.
All right. Everyone can make an investigation check, or you guys can work together to give advantage to whoever has the best investigation.
Not fucking me.
It's not me either.
I don't have that great of an investigation either.
I have good investigation.
Then go. We'll help you.
And I'm dapper as fuck.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna scope it out and see if I notice what the attire is, what the trends are, you know?
Grandolph, you will get to roll this with advantage. Because we're going to go with the idea that everyone's split up for a little while to kind of scope things out and report it back to Grandolph. Alright, here's the thing. So here's a house rule that I use. When a group check is done like this, I know that there's two ways I like to do it. either everyone can roll and see how they do, and the DC or the DC for the thing doesn't change, or everyone works together and I lower the DC dramatically depending on what's being done. Grandolph, you do just manage to pull this off.
Yay.
Good job.
Grandolph, you notice that a lot of people are buying clothes that focus on an overall white aesthetic with a lot of different colors on them. You see white dresses flowing with red and gold. You see very different attires of very simple looking clothes, just decorated with color and vibrant designs. It's not sort of like the material is itself designed or shaped in an elegant way. It's all about color and the expression. And you even see some certain groups of humans working specifically on these even more loud and boisterous outfits, like large hats that represent like feathers and strands of different strands of color, just covering their entire body. It is a crazy fest. This is going to be an insane party.
After we kind of
Okay.
sneak out the town, Kander is going to pull Bliss aside and just be like, "We are going to go wander for a bit. We'll meet back outside the gates, I assume, where we stepped into this place."
Sure. Around what time should we meet up?
What time is it right now?
It is. We're gonna say it's high noon.
It's high noon.
What time does the party start?
I don't think
When
it's
I get
today.
there.
Haggith didn't tell you.
Maybe we should investigate that. Hopefully it's not today, because that's a little not enough time for anything.
I mean, it's doable, but
I already got a plan.
All right, what does everybody want to do? Grandolph, I know he's ready to get fucking set. He's ready to buy the outfit he needs and a cool sword.
Yeah.
I would say meet back up in 5 hours, if not sooner.
sounds
Just
like a
enough
plan.
time to wander and find what we need.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna say, for the sake of brevity, we're not gonna go too much to NPC shopkeepers because there's a lot to already do and a lot of NPCs that'll get made. Let me look up how much swords are for you. No.
I have the rapiers 25. I don't know if the book's different than what the little thing in roll 20 gives me.
I think they're 25 usually, but you could try to haggle. You never know. Besides, you have money. You maybe could get a fancy sword.
Yeah, because I have gold that isn't mine to spend, so
Yeah, I gotta add that to my sheet.
I'm going all out.
A rapier.
What are you gonna do to me?
Whoa, no.
Oh no.
I mean, it's
All
not
right,
really rape if I enjoy it.
someone has made a worse thing than I've said so far. Congratulations.
I mean, it's not rape if I enjoy it, so.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
Yeah, let's just leave that.
Great
No.
segue.
Yes, it's 25 gold.
Okay.
Very standard sword. If you want to haggle with this person, you can try. After all, you are Grandolph the Great.
Grandolph the Great. Do you know who I am?
It's like that Game Grumps scene. It's like, it's okay. I don't think you know who I am. As you like remove your glasses.
Oh lord. Now I'll buy it at face value. Like I said, it's not my money, so I don't care.
All right.
I mean, it is your money.
Nah, he gave it to me. I didn't earn it.
You buy the rapier. Easy
Yes.
enough. It is a 1d8 piercing and a finesse weapon, meaning that you can use your dexterity instead of your strength to wield it. Right,
Alright.
and then you go pretty much what's being done is that there's very specific shops and carts selling the outfits. You kind of have some options here. As you will observe more of the people, you get the idea that the much more exuberant costumes from the more from the more sort of bikini style and sort of like more chest showing style to the much more elaborate sort of strands of color and what looks like grass reed is much more specific for the people who actually probably come from this land / people who are sort of like hosting the festival. Everyone who's wearing the much more simple but still colorful white clothing, that's more what's expected of party.
Okay.
Are you going to tell us that?
Me? Are we in the group still? I thought we all split off.
Everyone pretty much split off at this point. I'm mostly just
assuming
asking
we
Grandolph
told
what
them.
does he want to buy? Like, because I'm giving you the option while still implying what would probably be the smarter choice. But you're Grandolph. I can't stop you.
So the white is what the party goers are wearing, right?
Yeah, the white with like the multifaceted colors at the collar, the sleeves.
Now, what would make me like stand out as like, oh shit, it's that guy?
This is how we're gonna do this. Actually, you see one of the other the men who's kind of like unloading and sort of like hanging up the different clothing, who's kind of like running the whole show. It looks like he's kind of pointing back and forth. I'm gonna say if you want to approach him and ask, you could.
I will do that.
You kind of hear him speak in a different language. He's kind of pointing at everybody and then turns to you and says, "Oh, can I help you, sir?"
Yes, I'm looking for some robes that fit me as a person that I am, and I just want to stand out and want people to really look at me and be in awe.
Standing out's actually not going to be that hard. Well, it's actually going to be very hard because, well, he kind of motions towards everyone. Kind of the point of it is less the clothing and more just the spirit of it. Just don't just stand there like some of you guys here at Faerun kind of do. You just kind of stand around and talk a little, like dance a little. Kind of. He actually demonstrates a little bit by like kind of like whistling and like calling out to one of his guys as they're kind of like tuning their music. It's like, come on, I'll show you.
All right.
And he kind of like positions your body and your arms and kind of shows you to just sort of, he kind of like just shows you like walking around in like a circle in a sense, doing a very like specific kind of waving and wiggling of your arms and hips. Your arms kind of stay not that much above your shoulders, and everyone is just sort of laughing and having fun. From your perspective, it kind of looks like maybe goofy in a sense. Like he's not doing much with it, but roll insight.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. The first roll still counts. That's totally
Okay.
fine. The longer you watch this, I'm gonna say that you kind of also feel your own foot tapping with the music, and it kind of clicks with you what he's saying. You're just sort of standing there, just holding yourself back. He's getting into it. He doesn't care who's around him. It's a festival.
Yeah. Okay. I'll join him.
Roll a performance check. All right.
I'm average.
It's a little stiff because it's kind of not you in a sense, but like you're kind of getting into it. Like you see what he's going at, and the guys around you are all kind of like laughing. It's like, yeah, that's it. And as you're kind of like loosening up a little bit more, and by this point, you're both just sort of like dancing around each other, clapping your hands every so often.
Oh,
You
crap.
do
Ignore that.
That's okay. You do notice specifically the music that's being played is all woodwind instruments and drum. It varies from like longer drums about like half the size of like a normal humanoid, around 5 or 6 feet is where they stand, and some of them are more just like that comes up a little past like up to their knee when they're standing up. But it's really rhythm focused. It's very like fast, very boppy. It's very easy to get it just swept.
Okay. Cool.
All right, and at that point, I will say for a basic attire, you actually notice that this attire is not that expensive.
Ooh.
It's just 3 gold for like a whole outfit.
Well, look at that.
And with that, you take your
And
attire.
What kind of colors is it rocking?
What colors do you want?
Oh.
The only caveat is that you have to go with bright color.
All right. Some blue, some gold.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna stick with the blue and the gold.
Alright, just a very simple blue and gold, that's fine. It kind of, like, because it's just 2 colors, it kind of gets doubled up a little bit. But that's perfectly fine.
I see. Well, I don't want to be a rainbow, but... Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with the blue and the gold.
That's fine. With that, you have your outfit, and the gentleman smiles at you, kind of hits you on the shoulder, and goes, "Well, I'm glad that we get to share so much of this with you. I'm happy to see you at the party."
Yes, for sure. About the party, when exactly does it start? It seemed... I kind of forgot.
No problem. We get asked that question a lot. So, I understand that your parties, they can vary, but how we do it back home is it's a much bigger extravagant thing. It is going to be, the start is tonight, but then it's just going to be parades. It's a carnival. It is a street, city-wide extravaganza. And that's what we were paid and asked to bring. That's what we're bringing.
Okay. Sounds good.
With that, he smiles and nods at you. It's a sort of silent goodbye and goes back to kind of maneuvering everybody. A couple more people sort of rush up, and it's just they offer him the money for their outfits as he kind of goes, yeah, just follow me.
Cool. Yeah. Meander on my way.
Okay. Let's see here. What was everyone else doing? Vorton, you wanted to get a new shield.
Yep. And also, what does the armor look like? Is it fancy? Is it?
I would overall let you decide that, but the idea that I have is that it, in design, looks like a very standard, sort of high-grade armor. It's not really designed to be too extravagant on its own, but it is made exceptionally.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Cool.
So the decals and the shape you can choose of your like.
Yeah.
I will say, it is armor made for more humanoid-like creatures, not ones with like a snout. So that is kind of like weird for you.
Mm-hmm. This is fair. As a spirit, I do not have a snoot.
He does not. He has no snoot to boop.
Nope.
Sadness.
The saddest of days.
At this point, you just kind of want something simple. Let me look up. We'll go from that. I will tell you what you have to spend for it, and it's just going to be pretty much the same as what you already have.
Yeah.
Sola, what are you up to?
Just 1 second, please.
Dave, I can hear you really badly through my mic. Through your mic.
Oh, sorry.
You're also very loud and tinny all of a sudden.
Okay. I will try and fix that.
Anyways, sorry, that's actually distracting.
I muted myself.
Okay. Okay, I'm also going to start looking for getting myself an outfit.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's kind of the same elaborate affair. You go towards a different woman who seems to be more in charge of things. She kind of does the same thing for you. She sort of just gets your measurements, asks what colors you want to go with.
Okay. Um. Okay. What exactly is the festival for? I'm just traveling through, of course. I just had to stop by when I heard there was a party.
Vorton, it's 10 gold pieces for a shield and gives you +2 to your armor class.
Cool.
Oh, well, normally we have a festival that's a little bit earlier of this year, after the winter months have gone by. But for this, it's just to celebrate the connection of cultures. That how much do you know of How much do you know? Notes. What did I do with my notes? There they are. How much do you know of the business dealing with Lady Sestine and the Grouse?
I am completely unaware of this.
I'm happy to share. This is the whole point of the festival. So we all come from a different part of the world, Mastika. It is kind of very different, more desert on one end, jungles on the other end, and lots of fishing. Kind of like. This is more to celebrate the findings that Sestine has been able to rediscover from our people, from, well, recovering from the calamity. And thanks to the Grouse, we've been able to fund these expeditions easily. And now we get to expand the knowledge of our culture. We're not a... Sorry, I'm getting a little excited, but we're back on the map.
I see. What a noble cause.
She nods, and then do you have anything else you want to ask her?
How much is the outfit?
3 gold.
3 gold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will give her money for my outfit as well as enough money for 5 other outfits, and just say to pass it on.
Aww. You kind of get a little, a couple of applause and some pretty like hearty shouts from both the Mastikans and the people of Waterdeep. Like they're kind of really into that.
I figured.
You get handed your outfit. It can be of whatever combination of colors you like. And I will give you time to think on that as we cut over to Candor and Bliss. What are you two up to?
We wanted to go visit that special place in the city that we both know.
All right. I am not the one hosting this stream.
What's up?
I kind of want to pull. I want to pull Bree and Luna into the DM chat, but that's also going to leave you guys in the dark, and I don't know if that's okay with all of you.
That's fine for me.
All right. Literally pull you guys in
I have to
there.
go to the washroom anyways, so.
Why don't you just play some interlude music in the meantime?
Interlude music.
Marty,
Yes, hello?
on the sheet, do you know where we put like armor and stuff? Like, do we just put it in equipment, or? But then you can't put the stats down for it.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. I'm guessing you'd probably put it in equipment. That's where I have my clothes. No. Yes. I think. Sorry, I just saw something off to the side. I was thinking maybe that was it. Are you proficient in armor?
Yeah, light armor.
Oh, okay. Um. Hmm. I'm gonna say it's probably the equipment
Yeah.
area.
Alright.
It's probably your best bet. What are the stats for it?
Just AC 11 plus my dexterity mod. So I'll just put
I
like
think
all
that
I have
we're
to do is
just.
put it in and then just up my AC, I guess.
I think that's literally all you do.
Okay, and then the weight because it actually tracks it all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. I can't spell armor apparently. Armor. It weighs 10 pounds. It has 13 plus 3. So my AC is 16 now. Ha. Oh, I was hoping you could like click and drag your weapon to the top of the list, but it's not letting me. Sadness. Which does it cost? 10 gold. Honestly, he gave us a lot of gold. Like, I don't know what else we're supposed to spend it on. I thought everything was gonna be so much more expensive.
That's why I started paying for people.
Yeah, because I thought like the robes alone would have been like 100 or something. Because yeah, all I bought was my rapier, my leather armor, and then the robes, which only cost me like 40 gold.
You know what we could go looking for is potions. I can guarantee that those will probably be more expensive.
Yeah, I just don't know a whole lot. I guess it's probably in items. D20. Little info thing. Potions. No results found. Potion. Oh god. Potion of healing. Ha. Oh no, they don't have prices on them.
Uh-oh.
Potion of heroism.
Are you looking at Are you looking like in the Roll20 stuff?
Yeah.
Trade goods, page 157.
Items. Potion.
Potion of healing,
Yeah.
according to the robot, costs 50 gold pieces.
Oh god.
And they heal 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah. Potion of fire breath. Jesus Christ.
So I don't know how that will all work with a suit of armor, so.
Yeah.
Bible.
Ooh, potion of superior healing, 8d4 plus 8.
Oh shit.
Supreme healing, 10d4 plus 20. Oh my god. I'm just going through the potions. It doesn't seem like there's too many that I would need other than the straight up potion of healing.
Yeah, healing is probably going to be our biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have anyone that can heal.
Yeah. Like, I can get it later on, because, like, my character, like, he wants to learn all types of magic. So that would include healing. Because, like, I have fire, shock, poison, cold, arcane. And then I have, like, a bunch of mirrors, edge, and shields and stuff, so I could probably pick up a healing if I can learn them as a wizard. If I can learn as a wizard. Classes. Wizard. Wizard spell list.
So I suppose we just need to go somewhere else and look for some possibly magical goodies.
I mean, or clothing. We need clothing.
I mean, yes. But,
Back.
yes, thank you. We had a lovely conversation. But, at least my interest is lying in magical goodies. If I can find some.
As you guys are sort of walking by, you hear a voice from behind you. Still looking for magical items, are you? As you both turn around to meet another old acquaintance, as you see a humanoid being kind of slink out from the shadows, a interesting cloak, and the lower half of his body is very actual snake tail like, while the upper part is a combination of reptilian and human. Long time to see.
Do we know this person's name?
Can we name them?
You can name them. I also can give them a name from what their race is, which is the Yuan-Ti.
Yeah,
What do I want?
nothing.
I want fries with shake.
Okay.
So you guys can either let me name him or you can name him.
Oh my god, I've got one.
Okay.
His name should be Sir Diem.
Sir what?
Sir Diem. It's a
Like
play on
Carpe
Diem.
Diem?
Yes, it is. But he's the snake.
Okay.
All right. He's gonna go by Serpe Dia because you really want.
It's funny. I like it. You got to name the last one, Luna.
I guess.
Yeah.
How are my favorite muck-ups going about today?
You know, I just love it whenever you talk to me with such a lisp. It's lovely, truly.
That's racist.
Yes, it is Serpe.
You kind of hear him kind of cackle at that. Last I heard, you were all at Baldur's Gate. And that's not exactly around. Or...
You cut out a lot.
Oh, I'll bring the mic a little closer. Last I heard, you were at Baldur's Gate. And that's not exactly there anymore.
And last I heard, you were swimming in the drunk tank. So let's just keep our business to ourselves.
Oh, but that's so boring. I thought we were friends.
Of course. You know her. She's always on edge. But yes, magical goodies. Do you know of some, or do you have some? I know it varies with you.
Well, As does the market. But it just so happens I have something you might be interested.
I'm listening.
He pulls out from his sleeve a black dragon skin.
Yes, lovely. Why would I want this?
He kind of like does shifty eyes. You're kidding, right?
I'm waiting for you to explain its importance to me.
Your draconic heritage.
Yes, and it's a dragon scale. You act as if there are not many black dragons in existence.
He kind of like smiles at that one. Well, they're not exactly the easiest ones to find. The point is, I've done a little research. You're not the only one who's got an interesting parentage. And I've heard pretty truthful rumors that someone like you can harness power from something. Yes.
Is that so? And what are you asking for this lovely dragon scale?
A favor. Because frankly, I know you don't have the gold to pay for this.
I mean, you might be surprised, but, what favor?
You've all been away from the guild a little while. Have you been keeping up with the news?
I look back at Bliss. Not particularly, no.
Well, then I get to have a little fun. Have you ever heard of the old analogy of what happens if you cut off the Hydra's head?
Yes, of course. Who hasn't?
Well, the guild's in a bit of a similar predicament.
Ah. And which head looks to be winning out then?
No one just... The debacle hasn't escalated to such a high state. But if I were a betting man, I think us are in a better running. After all, someone might have let it slip that you're not around anymore. He gives a very wide.
I'm gonna look at Bliss. And I'm going to whisper with my message cantrip while my face is turned.
Go for it. That's perfect.
Send a message!
Go ahead and click that spell.
Yep, let me go with my sheet.
Mm-hmm. Right. One round is usually 6 seconds, so I will say you both are able to easily respond to each other back and forth one.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you whisper?
No, we're whispering right now.
So can you like repeat what you said? Because you cut out a lot during that, and I didn't catch very much of it.
Really? Damn
Yeah.
it. I might have to end up changing his fucking voice then, because like
I just heard like someone let it slip that, and then you cut out.
I think you're literally cutting out, though.
Oh, like it's not just the fucking voice or the volume. I'm cutting out often.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll disconnect and come back.
Oh god, he's back.
I came back fat. Oh! So he basically said that he kind of let the rumor spread that you two are dead. So the guild doesn't think you're alive anymore.
Well, we kind of pooched that, didn't we?
It's fine.
What? Old Barbara. No one. Space.
No one what?
Alright, I'm changing his fucking voice.
It was a good voice.
It was a good voice.
Thank you. But, like, if the microphone's gonna have literally that much trouble keeping up with it. Alright, Alright, you're gonna... Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Alright, no one's gonna believe her. Barbara's not exactly the most intuitive of the guild.
Ah.
I mean, she keeps betting on our death, so... Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better. I don't. Kind of winks at you.
Ugh.
You still haven't explained this favor.
A partnership, my friend. If the heads of the multi-heads of the guild are going to combat each other, wouldn't it be more interesting if we just took out the entire Hydra on its own? The three of us, one guild. What do you say? And he kind of like motions with the scale in his hand.
You honestly think we could take out the top dogs, just the three of us? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You've never been quite the visionary. What about you, Kandor?
I have to agree. I mean, the odds are not in our favor, even if they do think that the two of us are dead.
Fine. I'll think of something for you to do for me. Something smaller, more your pay grade. And he offers the scale to you.
Okay, I'll take it. I mean, he's asking for a favor that he hasn't thought of yet. He'll forget eventually, it's fine.
That's how that usually goes.
Right.
You take the scale and you pocket it, no problem.
Cool.
Alright, with that, we'll say, in a similar fashion to the others, you were able to buy your outfits fairly on the cheap, sort of get the idea of, you kind of get like the cultural synopsis of like, it's not the clothes, it's the spirit of it. You get your attire, and you all meet back up again.
Oh, I was gonna actually go look for a magical item shop.
Alright. We'll do it really quick. It's water deep. Magic is gonna be... Unlike the old Waterdeep, magic is a little more loose, but it's still pretty restrictive, so... What are you looking for specifically with magic?
You know, it's a good thing that I made a list.
Okay.
You made a wish list.
I made a wish list, because I have a bunch of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna type those out, and we can all just meet up while I'm doing this.
Is there like a
Sounds
potion
good.
shop? By chance?
Yeah, that's a good question. A potion shop.
Is there one? That is the real question.
The furious typing. Clickety-clack.
I have a long list, okay? I'm just like... He's just thinking of all of the things that could possibly help him. He's heard of it.
That's fair, that's fair.
Okay.
Alright, let's check this out.
This.
Alright, how much of this is legitimate D&D stuff, or how much of this is homebrew?
No, this is all D&D's legitimate stuff.
Alright, cool. I would have also been okay with homebrew and, like, made something kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I normally need more time to think of homebrew than just on the fly. It's okay. I got this blank.
Guild
dragon scale.
What did he say you could do with the dragon scale again?
Said like I could use it to harness its power. I don't know. They'll fiddle with it later.
Just lick it.
Lick it.
I don't know
Grind
what
it up
it
into
skills, man.
powder and drink it.
I still
don't
haven't
know.
found my baddies. What? I found this.
Oh my god.
Man,
Yeah.
I love those. That's like my favorite Vine set. Is the frickin' berries one.
I swear.
Okay. Item. At this point, I'm just gonna be kind of looking through the list here to figure out like what the general fucking prices of these would be.
Yeah. Some of them are rare, some of them are uncommon. I didn't go
Aren't
about that.
magical items in D&D like ridiculously expensive?
Depending on what they are, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna say we're not gonna get to the heist tonight, I don't think, since last time it seemed like everybody kind of wanted to like chop it off around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So with that list, I will do a little bit of research and I'll get back to you on what you can afford to get.
Yeah. I'm also looking for Bliss because at least one of those would be good for her. But I'd definitely tell her so she can use her own fucking money.
Yeah, yeah.
Sadness.
The only question I have is do you know how much of that is common, uncommon, or rare?
I know that some of them are uncommon and some of them are rare.
Okay.
So
Any of the uncommon stuff ranges from 1 to 500 gold, so that wouldn't be too out of the question. Anything that's rare, you ain't getting.
okay, that's cool. I can remove those from this.
So
How much is a platinum as opposed to gold?
So the conversion rate to platinum is 1 platinum. I think is, if I'm not mistaken, 5 gold or 10.
It's 10 gold to 1 platinum.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So 10 platinum would be 100 gold.
Okay, I'm removing stuff from my list because I have a shorter list.
Sure.
Oh yes, I have a 3-item list. Amazing.
Yep. Alright, awesome. So we can actually get this right now. Alright. Alright, so Cloak of Elven. Sure.
I love the sweeping voices in this music.
I know, right? It's so. I actually should have switched the music, actually, but I kind of forgot.
I was wondering.
They're just sweeping the dirt on the ground or the stone. You never know.
The dirt that is the ground.
Yes. You need to clean. You need to sweep up all this dirt where the ground is dirt. I want you sweeping.
Okay. The Cloak of Elvenkind will say takes the remainder of your gold, which is like a little over 200, because that's a fair item at this level, and it doesn't exactly immediately let you immediately do shit.
I mean, I have 387 gold.
Do, and that's gonna the rest.
I could try to haggle.
You can, because you are a persuasive.
What does the Cloak of Elvenkind do?
And it helps
Basically-
with stealth.
Yep.
So
it-
couldn't you ask to test it out and then just
Oh my
sneak
god.
out?
It's like a ring of
anyone who
invisibility.
is stupid enough to do that doesn't need to own a shop.
I know, but I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
What if she rolls a really high haggle?
Hey, what if I get them to let me borrow it and then I just go invisible? It's fine. No.
The gloves of thievery are actually a pretty basic weapon. I do love them. I will say that only costs 200 gold.
Where are you getting this list from?
From my Dungeon Master's Guide.
I am getting it off with 5e
DM's Guide
tools.
has a complete list of like every magical item like ever conceived in the game.
I have like 5e tools that you can like filter out for just uncommon stuff, etc.
Meanwhile, I was the idiot who bought the books and has to make use out of them.
I mean, I have the books too, but they just sit in a drawer.
I have them as well. They too sit in a drawer.
But I will definitely tell Bliss that the gloves of thievery are like 200 gold, but worth it.
I'm going to say that Rod of the Pack Keeper is something that is not available to buy, but being that you guys are a part of a Thieves Guild, you guys can get the Cloak of Elvenkind and Gloves of Thievery. Elvenkind will take all of the remaining gold one of you has. Gloves of Thievery will only take 200.
Okay.
I still want to try to haggle for the cloak.
Alright. We're gonna say you guys kind of go to a different part of the underground part of the city and just kind of find different people to talk to. Make a persuasion roll.
Wait, is it like hung up somewhere, or is the person carrying it out? Because I literally have a spell perfect for this kind of situation.
I'm gonna say that you find a sort of like back alley shop that generally has everything locked up behind like a glass casing. And as you guys enter the door, these two armored suits literally like block your passage with two like axes blocking the doorway.
Okay.
Well, that's a little extra, don't you think?
We're just in the business of spending our well-earned gold.
Yeah, well-earned gold that you stole. I know what my clientele is.
Excuse me. I was given this gold for a job. Thank you.
I don't right care. What do you want?
I was looking at that cloak over there.
Alright. About 150 gold.
For your
Specifically,
magical.
it'll be a little harder to hold.
I mean, I just, can I not touch it and make sure that it's legit? Because I know also about these, CD dealings in back alleys.
I'm gonna say the description of this guy is kind of like human, balding on top, black beard that like grays out towards like the end of it. He's kind of portly, but he does kind of slowly bring up like a crossbow from under the table, and like kind of like with his hand still resting on it, is kind of like letting it sit on the table. Oh, you can take my word for it, or get the hell out of my shop. You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage if you want.
Can't use that spell. Just a second. I'm looking. You know, it's made
No
for
worries.
combat.
We're made for out of combat, and this is all about it.
So I said 150, didn't he?
He said,
Just
350 for the cloak.
I am going to cast a spell on him.
Alright.
Called suggestion.
Oh, okay.
And
Have to
I'm
make
just
a
going,
wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Yes. and the DC is only 13. And I'm just going to suggest, but if you could sell it just a little bit cheaper, you know, I could carry the word of your stall here, and we could be return customers for much more gold later.
Alright. It is a verbal, and it's a verbal, and this will be. I want you to roll a stealth check to see if you can like get away with whispering the spell.
Okay. Probably not.
His eyes kind of go wide as he clearly hears you, but it's a spell. It still hits, And you kind of hear him through gritted teeth. That sounds reasonable.
I mean, I could give you 300 for it, obviously, and just a little bit cheaper, more in my price range than 350.
You see his face relax a little bit. He sort of just rolls back. Regardless of you having me charmed, actually, deal. As he goes to grab the cloak, and he holds it, offers his hand out for the gold first.
Yep. I will give him 300 gold.
And then he will give you the cloak.
Yay.
He'll then... Go ahead.
Nope.
He'll then look over to you, Bliss. You gonna pull any more tricks either?
Oh, I would never.
All I can do for you.
I'm looking at getting some gloves of thievery. And I just put on, like, the sickeningly sweetest grin.
He kind of, like, chuckles at that. Why? You're not very good at your job.
No, but, you know, you can never be too good at something.
Alright. Look at you, that's a bit more common. You thieving types cheat a bit. I'll be 200.
I mean, I'm kind of in the same position as my friend over here, and I kind of just, like, prop my boobs up against my arms a little bit. And I don't have exactly that much. Is, like, 175, 180 reasonable?
Alright. I'm gonna roll a D100 to see if this even works on this guy. Alright. You can roll persuasion standard.
Standard.
Yep. I like the creativity, but I just had to make this guy, and I'm like, I don't want to assume this old man's a pervert. That's not fair.
Aww.
That's sad.
Sorry, love. I'm a little old, I think. 200 gold.
Ugh, fine, and I hand it over.
Jesus Christ.
He tosses you the gloves. Now, the interesting thing is, do you put the gloves on?
No.
Okay.
You should have.
Too late, she said no.
Yep, too
I
late.
know.
She'll find out later. You both, is there anything else you want to do before you meet up with the group again?
Nope. That's all I had.
Alright. You have your outfits, you have some of your gear. You all meet up back a few hours later. By this point, I'm actually going to grab correct music now.
So we don't get to go look at like any potion places, right?
Oh, you can if you want. I mean, I just let them fucking get magical items. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Because we're
Yeah.
I think we actually mentioned that, but it kind of got sidelined.
I actually don't remember hearing it, so I actually think I got talked over.
Possibly.
Yeah, because I don't remember hearing anything about magic potions. This I'm a little more comfortable making up some bullshit for, so, I will say you kind of walk around and you find a
Shit.
Oh, by the way, I posted new music for you. You find sort of like a different potion shop, like an herbalist, and we're gonna say that she is this younger-looking halfling who's kind of standing up on a stool as she's like peddling her wares, and she looks at you with these big bright eyes and goes, "Ah, new customer! How can I help you today?"
Well, first of all, I'm there with. I'm assuming Grandolph came with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Hi. We're looking for stuff that'll help us not die.
Well, if you're just looking for basic health potions, I'd be happy to give you. What sort of grade of potion are you looking for? Something minor, something for a little more drastic situations? And she like takes her finger and like motions like going across her neck.
To be quite honest, we'd be willing to look at basically anything you have as far as health goes.
She reaches under her cart and like literally slams like a small like drawer that has all these different potions labeled out. Well, I am stocked with the stuff, so it's really just whatever you really need. I would say if you want to go with a greater potion of restoration, that's going to be about 50 gold a pop. And then go down about 30 for the next one, a standard health. And I have this little pint of health potion of restoration. This one's more sort of just to get you back up from whenever someone happens to knock you out in a bad bar fight. So to kind of like paraphrase it, the greater health potions, 50 gold a pop. Under that's 20, under that's 5.
How much does the greater restore?
50, I'm gonna look that up, but it's like 2d4 plus your level,
No, I think 2d4 plus 2, I think, is a regular health potion.
Yeah, it's 2d4 plus 2, and then whereas like a regular health potion is just a 1d4 plus 2. But I will look that up in the book while you consider it. It's a fairly substantial potion to have at your guys' level.
Yes.
I know that somebody sent me a list once of like all of the different potions of healing, and I can't remember.
The Dungeon Master guy doesn't have like the
Okay.
easiest.
I found a thingy. Let me get a screenshot.
Yeah, I'm also gonna look it up on my end because the dungeon, I don't know where to look at it on the.
Okay, I'm sending it into the general, not music.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I actually just found the passage. Neat. Okay. So, we found the same thing. Neat.
Yeah.
So a greater healing is actually 4d4, where standard healing is 2d4.
And how much were the standard healing ones?
20.
She's got a lot, so that she buy a bunch.
Now I will say this, so we don't break the game. At most, she has 3 of the greater, 3 of the standard, and 3 of the mini.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 of the standard ones, the common ones, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I'll
that's
do that.
40 gold.
I'll take the other one.
Okay, you'll buy the 1/3 of the standard. We're gonna leave the greater healing potion away.
Yeah.
Alright, that is totally fine. Is there anything else I can do for you?
We also happen to be in the market for any sort of items with magical qualities. If you happen to know a reputable seller for any sort of items like that.
It's not really my forte, unfortunately. I usually just buy like the magical trinkets here and there to make everyday life a little bit easier, but I don't really. It's not really my thing.
Where about would you buy those little trinkets?
Oh, just actually right over there. And you kind of notice there's another shop with a sign that looks like a little gopher popping out of a wizard hat.
Adorable.
Okay, I will thank her and give her a 2 gold tip.
Oh, very gracious. I love festivals. You guys head off to the other shop. As you enter inside, you see a owl Kenku at the desk, and he goes, "Oh, ho! Who's entering my shop today? How can I help you?" I just made Santa Claus an owl.
An owl. What? Sorry?
Kinku.
Alright, Kenku are bird humanoids.
Oh.
One of the two.
They're literally bird people.
Oh boy.
Hello. My name is Sola. And I will walk up to the front desk. Or wherever the fuck he's standing.
Yeah, he's like standing behind a desk. He's about your size. He's very poofy. You don't know if it's because he's just a poofy owl or he's fat. It might be both.
Fair. I don't like to judge people based on their appearances.
He's wearing a very basic sort of like vest. Oh god, I know what voice I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna change the voice. It's kind of perfect. I love it when I can make characters like this. He kind of has like a very nice vest as he's kind of like got his belly and his chest kind of puffed out as he talks to you. Now, how can I be of service to y'all today?
Oh god.
Is he basically the fucking chicken from Bugs Bunny?
Yes. Now I say.
Listen here, boy.
That cartoon's kind of racist now. Woo! So you walk up to. He hasn't introduced his name yet. You've given your name. He says, "Well, I go by Howls around these parts."
Howls?
Yeah, because when you hang out with me, you have a howling good time. Oh!
Howls the
Can I
owls.
insta-kill him?
Do not? I guess we shall start kind of looking around the store, or at least looking around at the stuff that's near the desk. What sort of stuff does he sell?
You notice that a lot of it is like as prescribed. Trinkets, amulets, just small little things like protection and nothing offensive, you notice, as you're sort of like checking out things and doing, I'm gonna say, like speed running through multiple arcana checks. Now, I say, you both look like the traveling type. Is there anything specific you might be looking for?
No, we're kind of just looking around, you know, with the festival and stuff. We figured we'd check out all the local stores.
Oh, I say, I understand the festivals around these parts, especially when foreigners come around on the most delightful occasions. Even if they, have a little bit of a darker undertone behind them, but it's always still a hoot.
Darker undertone?
I chuckle at his joke about hooting because he's an owl.
He catches that, he kind of like points to you, he's like, there's a man of humor right there. Well, I don't feel it's my place, but if you don't mind gossiping and not letting anybody know that old Howells is who let you in on.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna take your word for it. I just want to thank all of you for letting me be the dungeon master. This is the proudest moment of my DMing career. I love this so much. Well, you see, I like to try and keep a tab on everybody around these parts, kind of get to know how everybody's doing. It's good for business, but the guy, I've also changed their name. They are the Grouches now. The Grouch is kind of the Grouches, they have a family history, a positive one, at least, before their son got a little too, and he kind of, like, motions, like, drinking. Bit of a party animal, that one, and, well, unfortunately, after his brother died and his parents passing, the fortune fell to him, and he has been generous with his investments, ones that can definitely be rather fun, but there is a little talk here and there that he's a little too extravagant with pushing the things he finds, a little what's the word that everybody did? patronizing to the lesser folk.
Ah.
Yes, and no one's been a little bit more perturbed by that than Sastine herself. Brightest young gal I've seen in a very long time around these parts, and I'm ecstatic she got to go on that cultural expedition, but she shed a little too often around her aggravation. She's actually one of the braver folk to speak against the Grouches, but they also kind of have a good investment in her entire situation, so they can afford to let her off.
I see.
But enough of that darker tone thing. Is there anything particular I could maybe interest you? I know you're just looking around, but maybe there's something that we could maybe converse on.
Is there anything of particular interest in this store, like defensive-wise? I know you said not offensive.
Yeah. It is a smorgasbord of very light and medium enchanted defenses, whether it's from piercing to bludgeoning. There's even especially a lot of amulets against necrotic damage.
Interesting.
I don't think I need anything against necrotic.
That's what you think.
You never know, I guess.
I would say to help you with this, since you guys are basically stealing from people, humans specifically, piercing, bludgeoning, and fire, probably a good thing to protect yourself from.
I see. I think I'm good for now. I don't see anything that piques my interest.
How much what is the defense against piercing? Like, how much does that item cost, whatever that item is?
With the goal that you guys have, that you could afford a resistance charm, basically meaning that damage is halved for you. So, like, if an arrow does D10 and gets a full 10, it only does 5 damage.
And how much is that?
Well, it depends on the kind of damage you're doing. I would say around here, piercing weapons are a little bit more favorable. Arrows and whatnot, whether it be a little revel-rousing here in town or the goblins towards the northward. I would say, well, given the festival and the fact that you were all so kindly to hear me, I'd give you a small discount and just keep it around 150.
Does that seem like a reasonable price?
Roll an insight check. Yeah, that's pretty fine. Like, that's about a standard one. It's implied that he kind of could have gouged you for 200, but 150 is a pretty price.
So, just question, when you haggle for stuff, what are you rolling?
You would roll persuasion, and then you tell me beforehand what you're saying to try to convince him.
Okay. I'll kind of puff up myself a little bit with my wings and try to look as scared as possible. And I'll say, well, I'd be very interested in the piercing resistance. I've had a few near incidents with stray arrows and such, you know, flying about. It's really scary. And I'll just make myself as cute as possible.
Roll with advantage.
Oh my god.
Not great.
I can only imagine what that must feel like. No, literally, I can only imagine. Can't fly. I wish we all could. I would say I would be willing to give up 125. But I am running a business. I do have to make some kind of money for myself.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much. And I'll, like, happily jump around and act a little bit on the childish side.
Oh, that's not a problem at all, dude. It's a festival and all. I'll be making that money back in no time.
Okay, yeah, and I'll buy it. 125?
125.
Okay.
And you now have an amulet of piercing resistance.
Is this an item that I can actually look up?
I'm kind of homebrewing it, / I'm sure it does exist. Because, like, small trinket items like that are pretty easy to just come up with. What would really be expensive if you wanted, like, nullifying, which I'd make you pay out the ass for.
No, I can deal with what I have.
Yep.
She said.
So yeah, just piercing resistance.
Still like kind of browsing around the store a bit.
That's fine. Basically, above game, like if there's some kind of resistance thing you want, you can just.
Does he have hats?
He does have one hat, and it's
Is
the
it a hat of
same.
wizardry?
it is the same hat that is used on the sign. Which the best way to explain it is, it literally looks like a combination of the sorting hat from Harry Potter and the hat from. Oh my god.
We suddenly went into a wind tunnel.
All right, so it's like if someone took the sorting hat from Harry Potter and painted it the same color and design of the hat that Mickey Mouse wears in Fantasia.
Perfect. I would like to inquire him about said hat.
As the train goes by.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that's not for sale. That's actually a very impartial trinket for my own personal delight. It's really just a hat. It has no special properties.
Can I arcane check it?
You can arcane check it. You go over to check on the hat, Grandolph, and as you do, time just stops. Your eyes go wide as you keep looking at this hat. And when all this happens, you turn around and you see the silhouette of an older man, about in his 40s, and he's being handed the hat by a young girl. There seems to be a conversation going on that you can't hear, but she does get very excited and jumps into his arms. And all of a sudden, you just sort of like shake your head and you're back to it.
Weird. So it's not a normal hat.
As you continue looking at the hat itself is actually normal. You don't know what the fuck that was.
I'm just gonna like shake it off, I guess. And just be like, okay, well, thanks for your time, good sir.
Oh, not a problem at all. I'll be happy to help you out any other time you come by.
For sure. Maybe I'll pop by another time.
Alright.
Then I will meander out of the store.
Alright. Last one then. Vorton, I let everybody else get some magical item bullshit. Do you want anything special?
That was a good question. Vorton would like to try and find... There's not much he can use, really, in terms of clothing or anything.
You should get a bag of holding.
I have a bag of holding built into myself.
I know, but
Hey,
just
hey,
the
maybe-
irony of it would be great.
Hey guys, maybe he should buy a bag of holding and put it in himself.
No, I'm
No,
not gonna
he's
void
not.
myself
Oh,
from
God.
existence.
God,
I was
Never.
kind of, I was kind of hoping Bree was the only one who'd catch that.
Vorton would like to try and find a magic weapon, a magic sword.
Okay.
And also, has he seen anyone of the group yet? Or is he still pretty much on his own?
I'll let you guys decide on that if like you've crossed paths with Vorton at this point.
you could have seen any of us, I suppose. We've just been wandering.
let's say he saw someone and was like, I want a cloak. So he wants to find a cloak that matches everyone as well. To go over his armor, like a cape.
Okay.
Fancy little cape for his armor.
Oh, you know what? I know 2 common magic items that you might like.
Ooh.
Oh, bring them up. That might be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let me find them again. Okay, there's one. That's called the Cloak of Billowing,
Ooh.
and it does that.
Yes.
Wanted to make it.
There was somebody in one of our games that every bonus action, every turn, it's like, and I throw my cloak dramatically. It was the best thing.
Yes. Vorton would like to find the Cloak of Billowing.
All right.
Awesome.
We're gonna say that you sort of like kind of walk around, and it's a very common magical item because it's basically just an enchanted cape.
Yep.
As you walk around, there's just like a cart that's just like selling like little mini like little things like that. They're selling it to a lot of the Mostikans that are there who've like never like seen stuff like that before, like the magic being used for just a simple thing. They're kind of really laughing and like going crazy about it as different people and kids play with it. And then you walk up and you go, "Oh, hello, sir. How can I help you today?"
Hello. I am looking for a Cloak of Billowing.
Oh, of course. A very simple item. How far are you wanting it to stretch down on you?
Preferably at least the back of my knees.
I fucking dare you to make it a little cape that barely even goes down your back.
The tiniest cape of them.
It's not so much a cape as a bib.
Yeah, it's a backwards bib.
No, Vorton likes to be dramatic once in a while.
Alright. With that little ass cape, I'm just gonna say it's 50 gold.
50 gold? Down to the back of his knees? Okay.
Yep, down to the back of his knees.
Okay.
And for fun, I'll let you design the cape. It can be whatever color, made of whatever fabric you want.
How much would the other one that she linked be?
Yeah, I was curious.
Yeah.
Glamour weave clothing. Whoa. That would definitely be in the 100 to 200 gold area. And I would say 150 for the standard, like 300 for like the high grade one, because that is that's decent, powerful magic put into a very unnecessarily dramatic clothing.
I am down to assist if you want to bulk buy these motherfuckers.
I mean, I only have like 87 gold.
Why are you so broke?
Because I spent like 300 gold on a cloak that helps me be sneaky.
On a what?
A cloak to help me be sneaky.
Sneaky snook.
We're trying to be dramatic.
You guys are. They're the thieves.
Yeah. Excuse us. We are the ones that have to. We steal things all the time. My sneaking is not the best. Thank you.
I'll go in with you and try to bulk buy it. I know I'm not much for haggling.
I mean, if you guys would take a loan, I could pay you back later and give what I have now, but...
Because it's definitely something that Grand Elf would want.
Yeah,
I definitely want that. I can see it.
Everyone's just like, pretty close.
Grandolph the not broke. How much money do you have?
The not broke.
A lot.
252.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I will absolutely take you with me to go look at these cloaks and shit.
Now I just feel sad left behind.
I'm gonna say the group meets up after our boy gets his cape, and then you all see this young girl spin around as her entire outfit like kind of dazzles in flowers and colors, it kind of morphs into a more aesthetically appropriate, very flowy, multi-layered dress to fit the festival the Mostikans are hosting. And whoever's interested, your eyes just pop like, what?
Yep.
Yep.
After very quickly discussing with the parents, they point you out to another shop whose sign states... I'm getting tapped out with creative things here. Give me a second. Arcanum Attire.
Okay.
Who all goes into the new shop?
I'm going.
I will
We all
follow.
go.
We're all just going.
As you guys go in, you see. I'm gonna look at the differences of D&D, and we're gonna decide it that way. Let's get something. Perfect. You see, behind the desk, a very large Loxodon. And for those of you who don't know what a Loxodon is, think human elephants.
Ah,
Yeah.
God.
how large?
Can't ask them that. That's rude.
Loxodons are about like usually 6 to 7 feet tall, and they're like a couple 100 pounds.
I square up with it.
Oh.
And nod appreciatively to its size.
God. You guys walk in, and then there's 2 Loxodons specifically. One of them turns to you guys and goes, "Oh, new customers!"
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, that's just what it reminded me of.
That's 100% what it's supposed to remind you of. You actually, in fact, notice that these Loxodons are woolly Loxodons. They have furry, one of them's like a fully, like, kind of more brown fur. The other one's just white fur.
Cool.
How can we be helping you today?
God, how am I supposed to take this seriously?
After all, it's a big festival blowout.
Where look?
Oh, big festival blowout.
Yes.
Any particular deals on today?
Well, you honestly, one of my favorite things to sell would be this, and like they immediately show you off like a much bigger version of the dress, but they show you a glamour weave outfit, and they kind of spin it around, and like once fire like kind of like dances around it, making it like black, orange, and red. Spins it again. It has much more of like this thinner, tighter looking dress, all based off of like ice design. Oh, I love the investment we made on these. They're so pretty.
How much are they?
Oh, well, it mostly depends on your size, but Heinz, yeah. How much are we going for the overall price? About 200 gold, 250 gold? It depends on the quality. Okay, 250 gold.
Okay.
To pick the most, like, stereotypically Swedish names on the top of my head.
Well, I'm quite small. Is like, do you have anything for kind of smaller people, or is it all just, you know, human sizes? What are we looking at here?
Oh, for you, little one, we could argue at 200 gold. Hans, we could argue 200 gold, yeah? Like, how small is it? It's pretty small!
Okay, and are there just dresses here? What are we looking at?
Dresses, suits, ties, gowns. This is the clothing store.
So, robes.
Robes, indeed. Robes for days? Robes for days.
Robes for days.
I will go over and look at the cloaks and stuff.
All right.
I'm assuming the
Generally-
cost is like per item, right?
Yeah, per item.
Okay.
Vorten would like to find a tiny little cape.
You already have a cape! Are you gonna put a cape on top of your other cape?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
If you look and find a little like child-sized little cape, and I'm gonna say that's gonna be 50 gold. No, actually that's 100 gold because I made you pay 50 gold for the normal cape.
Sweet. Vorten will purchase it.
Jesus Christ.
Does
I'm
it-
gonna
it
go
just-
look at the road.
As it billows, does it just like change to different colors?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Do any of them have any like fancy effects on them or anything? Or
Yes.
can you like
The
change
idea
what the effect is?
The idea with, from what I'm reading off this, is that it doesn't specifically say that it's supposed to have one specific illusionary thing. We'll say that, yeah, each outfit has specifically one illusionary effect unless you wanted something specific. Other than that, it's whatever you want. They have everything in stock.
Okay. I'm looking for something that sparkles like the night sky.
They show you how elaborate of a dress are you wanting at this? Are you
I
wanting a
want a
robe?
cloak.
Okay. They show you a cloak your size that literally, like, once when you put the hood down, the cloak actually instinctively kind of wraps around you, kind of covering your body, and then kind of like has like actual little star effects on it.
Adorable. How much is it? How much is this?
I think didn't we just agree on? Hi, did we agree on 200 gold? Yeah, we did.
Was that for? I thought that was for the dress, though. This doesn't have the fabric in the front. It's just the fabric in the back.
Oh yes, but it depends on the enchantment too. She kind of like measures it. This also has a lot less fabric. We could go with 150.
Okay, just 1 second, please. And I'm going to, happily and merrily and as cute as possible, go over to Vorten.
Oh god, what are you gonna make the poor paladin do?
What?
I really, really, really like this cloak. Can I borrow some money, please? I almost have enough.
How much do you need?
Could I borrow 25 gold? I'll pay you back when we get our when we get paid later. And I will smile.
Good save, good save.
25.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
That was easy.
As you run back over and pay, it's like, oh, they're so sweet. I love it when parents come in with their children. It's the most adorable thing.
I will smile happily and take my cloak.
Who else is that? Everyone wants to do, or Grandolph? Are you gonna pony up the rest of your money for an outfit?
Well, I was hoping to get a deal if we bought two, but she already paid.
I already managed to get mine lower, bitch.
What-
Nice try.
what effect is
Got
on?
it really low, yeah.
What effect is on this tiny child-sized cape?
Sparkly stars.
Yes.
Oh, you want that too?
No.
So,
Actually, not want that. You sounded so like tsundere.
Baka.
Wow. But no, Candor wants to look at the clothes after talking with Bliss. I would love it if you had a suit, a really, like, nicely looking suit, and it made me look like I was in a shroud of stars.
Oh, we could easily do something like that. Give me one moment. Sure enough, they have a suit like that. After a while, you kind of try it on. And a shroud of stars? Could you elaborate on that a little more?
So, like, kind of like over his shoulders would be almost like clouds full of like stardust, and it just kind of has that like glittering etherealness around the whole suit. It's very dark though, because he's an edgy boy.
All right. I'm gonna say to go with this, there is sort of like a little bit more of like a quarter cape thing to it that goes just past your shoulders, which is sort of like drips that sort of ethereal stardust behind you as well a little bit. And it also comes with a cane, because that's fucking classic.
I love it.
Oh, so subtle and so very stoic of you. It's very nice.
How much is it?
That would be 300 gold.
Bliss just sputters and looks at Candor and goes, "No."
Does
No.
does Bliss do like the anime?
Yes.
And he just looks at her. He's like, "But
I
so
don't
pretty."
have that much money, Candor.
But okay, and I look back at the people. It's like, could I offer gold and a partial trade?
We don't usually do the trades.
But I have a really nice book of dragon lore, and I have. Let me go back to the section that has it written down, and I have this very nice, ornate-looking small knife. It's very pretty. I'm just like rifling through my bag.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's more trouble than it's worth. We would just like the money.
But
I grab Candor by the collar and start dragging him out
you
of
can't
the
do
shop.
that. He is wearing the clothes.
I would prefer if he went back to his normal clothes, please, or I will have every right to run you down.
Oh, right.
I just like look at the rest of the group with like the biggest like puppy eyes. This is the nicest you have ever seen this character looking with his grumpiness before. He's just like, please, I need it. It's shiny.
You don't need it.
Says the guy with the actual amount of gold to buy everything.
Yeah.
I'm shopping for myself right now because I gotta look hella fine.
You are Grandolph the Fabulous.
Yes, I am.
And also, coincidentally, the not broke still.
Yep.
Randolph, what outfit are you looking for?
So are the effects like on the actual clothing, or do they go out from the clothing?
Half and half. It depends on how elaborate you want it. Since this is all aesthetic and it's mostly just rich people clothing, I'll say if you burn all of your gold, you can have like as much of an effect of like little billows of smoke like kind of rolling away from you. Anything like significantly under than that, it's more just, you know, kind of like what Sola has, which is just the sparkly star effect on the cloak.
Okay. And like, how does it trigger like the effects of it?
The concept is you get the idea that it's sort of like partial mental focus and like a motion of the body, like flick of the wrist. Like for instance, Sola's thing was just putting the hood down.
Gotcha. Because like, what I'm thinking is like, it kind of activates when I'm casting spells and stuff.
Okay, like when you're like really wanting to show off, that could be a thing if you want.
Yeah. And like, so what I'm kind of go for is like the bottom of like the robes like flutter a little, and then like blue light kind of comes like underglow in a car. But then like orbs of like blue like swirl around me with like a trail of blue around me. Kind of like in Final Fantasy with a black mage when they're casting shit.
Bitch likes his blue.
Yeah.
I love blue. Yeah, kind of like that. Like effects like when I'm casting something, like with the fluttering of the robe.
Alright, that would definitely eat the rest of your gold, but I'd allow
I'm
it.
okay with this.
We're all
The-
terrible.
I haven't been too bad.
You get the robe, and it is everything you could want and more. The general outside of it looks very simple and plain, but as you sort of like cast something simple, like prestidigitate anything, you just kind of test it out. And I'll actually say this, it's not specifically when you cast a spell, it's when you like get in the stance of casting a spell, and then you see the cloak sort of billow a little bit as like the lights glow, the orbs begin to float around you, and they
Yeah.
sort of illuminate around your robe, showing off different odd-looking glyphs that are only seen as the orbs highlight specific parts of your robe.
I'm at 0 gold. It was worth. Fan-fucking-tastic robe. This is
Kendra,
Oh,
just
thank
take
you for
the
your
cloth off.
business. Is there any more we could do for you today?
Yes.
not for me.
Do you know where I could buy some armor polish for my armor?
Oh, I think any sort of they tell you that you can like any blacksmith will have it. It's very simple. I'll say that's just like 5 silver.
Cool. How many gold or how many silver in a gold?
It is 1 gold equals 10 silver.
Okay. Well, Fortin will go and buy himself some armor polish.
All right.
That sounds sexual.
10 gold, silver.
Terrible.
All right. Is that all we want to do for shopping?
Well, I have no more money. So this class is like fancy enough robes to wear to this party.
It
Oh, I'm
most
sure.
it most definitely is. And keep in
Perfect.
mind, you and Sola still have like your more traditional basic attire too.
Yeah. I don't want to be no basic bitch.
Right? We're fancy bitches.
Yeah, we fancy bitches.
I'm gonna shine up my armor.
Yeah, you just see Kendra very sadly handing the outfit back and just like walking out the store.
I'm just like looking at my clothes glow around me.
If it makes you feel better, I don't mind putting this away on layaway.
Just turns back around, he's got tears in his eyes. Really? Me?
Of course, we could easily. How much gold do you have on you, dear?
80 pieces?
Oh, just spot me 10 gold and we'll hold on to it until you come back with the rest of the money.
And he just like touches, like grabs their hands.
Yeah, they have hands. It's a big furry hand that could crush your head.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, thank you, I'll come back later.
Oh, it's no problem. It's good for business. It's good to help people out, especially during these times.
Bliss is just like exaggeratedly rolling her eyes.
Well, you know what? This just means that Bliss doesn't get more money later. It's okay.
Whatever. She couldn't have afforded paying for your shit anyways.
It's okay.
All right. And with that, you all begin to make your way outside as the festival kicks off into proper gear. With this being a fantasy world, there is magic, lights, different things of fireworks going off as the night, and you just see this parade of both the Mastikans and the Waterdeep citizens going crazy. Alcohol, dancing, both of that Faerun has seen and hasn't seen. It's actually interesting, Grandal specifically, you kind of see some of the more, like, the Waterdeep citizens doing the dance that was shown you, but a lot of the other Mastikans, they're doing way more twirls and flips and just these sort of, like, one guy specifically is sort of, like, almost hopping on his hands, but the rest of his body is not touching the ground. Like, it's like a push-up, but he's just sort of, like, doing some really impressive acrobatics with it.
I see.
Like, you're
Very impressive.
Yeah, the rest of you are really getting the idea that this is supposed to be a big wild.
I'm gonna pull Bliss aside and it's like, do you think that you could get your hand on a ticket from somebody? Miss, I'm good at thieving.
I thought you were gonna make us
I have to know what they look like to make them look legitimate.
I mean, I could try to.
I would appreciate it.
Roll an investigation check, Bliss.
Da, 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 da.
You see, let's say it is a little D100. You're either gonna steal from an asshole or from a good person. Ha! Excellent. Okay. You see a little girl jumping up and down, watching the dancing going on, getting really excited as she's kind of like holding her ticket in front of her, but like her attention is strictly on the dancers.
You fucking monster.
I mean, they might take pity on her. She's just a kid.
You're not taking pity on her.
Alright, since it's a crowd, you can roll stealth, and then you can also roll sleight of hand to see if you can snatch the ticket.
So,
Okay.
like, is there like an entrance blocked off that we need to, like, the tickets to get in through that, I'm guessing?
Yeah, you kind of see like sort of the parade sort of like kind of snaking around and going further up Waterdeep towards this very specific part of the town. It's a bit of a ways walk, but yeah, you can when you get there, there's going to be a mansion and there's going to be a gate. All right, go ahead and make your sleight of hand check now.
Okay, how do I use my magic gloves?
If you go to the gear icon on your page, because your gloves are invisible when they're on
Yep.
your sleight of hand, you can just put like a +5. It's at the
So-
middle bottom.
So when you put on your gloves, you literally see them almost disappear on your hands.
Gear. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, give me a minute. Sleight of hand. +5. Okay. Okay. Wow, really?
You have a +10.
Wait. Oh, is that with your +5?
Yeah. She rolled 2.
I freaking hate Roll20 for rolls. Like, everything is so low. Or a 20.
It really does depend, I'll be honest. I've also had, like, physical dice fuck me over more often than 20. As you try to sneak around and you try to grab on to her ticket, she actually sort of just, like, instinctively looks up as she sees your shadow kind of bellowing over her. And she just kind of looks at you and just, like, doesn't entirely understand what you're doing as you're reaching for the ticket. You've been exceedingly caught.
I just, like, wave awkwardly at her.
And back away.
Yeah.
She just kind of watches you walk away back into the crowd, and then, like, when another flashy light appears, she focuses on that.
Huh, you are bad at your job.
Fucking bite me, shorty.
You wanna go?
She's
You wanna
short,
try?
too.
You wanna go again?
I could try again, yeah.
You can
Maybe
either
not
try-
with the
you-
same kid.
I was gonna say you try with the same girl with disadvantage, or I'll let you investigate to steal from someone else.
I'll see if someone else.
Alright, roll investigation.
Oh!
Oh my god! Okay, hold on. I'm gonna roll something really quick. That is excellent. You try to investigate, and you're kind of like peering out, And then literally the rest of you watch as a drunkard just walks by waving around his ticket like a dumbass. And Bliss, you just completely miss him as he walks by you. But everyone else, you just see him.
We see
Can
him.
I try to grab the ticket?
Yeah, if you want. He's fucking drunk.
Yeah. I will try to do it sneakily.
Yeah.
Even though he's drunk. I have advantage because I have a fancy cloak on.
Yeah, you get to test it out now.
Yeah. 18.
You blend into the crowd beautifully thanks to your cloak. Now roll stealth with advantage because he is drunk.
You mean sleight of hand?
Yes.
Or stealth again?
Yeah, roll sleight of hand. That was like me being like, oh, I'm tired. Shut up. Soft 20. You snatch that out of his hand really quickly, and the rest of you kind of watch like, huh? He's just like staring at his open palm now, like, was his stone there?
Oh my god.
You walk back to the group, and now you have the ticket.
I'm just gonna like look over it to make sure that I can memorize its look, because I'm gonna try to replicate it later.
How are you gonna replicate it?
I have a spell. I'm gonna do my best to replicate it.
Okay.
It's
Parchment paper, some other suitable writing material, and imbue it with a potent illusion that lasts for the duration. Perfect. Oh wow, that lasts for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's perfect. Bliss, eventually you get back with the rest of the group. You're really just not finding any more people with tickets out in the open.
Bliss.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay.
So how'd it go?
I just fucking death glare you.
I think you just see me over there examining a ticket.
Alright. With that, we will, unless anybody wants to do anything else, we'll go ahead and end the session for tonight.
Sounds good.
Yay, you're all fancied and gussied up, and you're gonna go steal some money.
And then go buy some pretty clothes.
I like how that's what our priorities were.
The paladin blissfully just ignores the fact we're going to be stealing for the greater good. To get his body back so he can spread the word of Bahamut, he must.
And from what you've understood is that you're kind of stealing from bad people anyway, from what you heard. So you know,
Everybody seems to be a little bad, yeah.
So not the worst.
Mm-hmm. It's passable. It's passable. Just barely.
It's just skirting on the neutrality level.
Yep, just skirts it just enough.
Alright, with that being the end, good job guys, this was a lot of fun. I have to start writing down the shops I've had to create on the fly. But that's D&D for you.
Away she goes.
Listen, the best part about tonight's session, I thought I was going to be super happy being like, cool, I'm going to base this off of like an actual culture and reality. It's like, no, the best part was Howls the owl. He is the best boy, and I'm so happy he exists now. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for playing once again. And if you have any questions or concerns or ideas, just type them to me later.
Good night. You will. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. And hello, Twitch chat. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. If you liked what you saw, hit that follow button. We stream D&D every Sunday at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. I don't know what time that is anywhere else, though.
It's 10 p.m. Central Time.
10 p.m. Central Time. We've learned. So, good night. Goodbye.